gravel under the haunches of the curve of the bunker so that there are no air gaps. The green ratchet straps you see slung over the top of the bunker are attached to large concrete blocks, which help keep the tube secure as we're passing the rocks up underneath it. Otherwise, the bunker would gradually start floating up to the surface, and that would put us right back to where we started, with the tubes above ground.
Cat.
And we don't want that.
What's that?
Once we get the engineered fill up to the center line of the tube, we can drop down a little remote-controlled vibratory sheep's foot roller. It's called a sheep's foot roller because the construction guys are really good at naming stuff. It has radially projecting spikes that produce an effect on the ground similar to a flock of passing sheep. It's great this guy exists because I'm fresh out of sheep at the moment, and this guy's doing a pretty good job. We'll be running him non-stop as the hole slowly fills up and he works his way back to the surface again. We'll also be spraying in a constant flow of water since water acts as both a lubricant and a carrier of dirt particles, helping the small little bits and pieces of rock flow down into the larger rocks, compacting the dirt even further. We gotta keep everything wet. The tighter the dirt particles fit now means the less settling, hopefully none, that will happen in the future. We're trying to replicate what Mother Nature did over millions of years in just a few days. Once all the gravel and rocky layers of dirt are back down, we have to go back and find the pile of clay that we collected and put in my neighbor's yard. The clay layer is going to act as kind of a moisture barrier, helping to keep the rain and the sprinkler water from flowing down into the sandy gravel and getting lost forever. The clay helps keep and hold the water in the topsoil for longer, so the plants and bugs can do all the nature stuff that plants and bugs do. I'm not a botanist, but I did watch A Bug's Life once, and those little guys are important. We also tossed in the exit shaft on the far side of the bunker and welded that to the flat plate.
Why are you here? I need you out of the way. Dumb cat.
With the same galvanized bead
You're so stinky
that we put on the entry shaft.
You're so stinky. Jeez, man. Stop. Stop it. I need you to move.
Speaking of waterproof,
you gotta move, man.
Corrosion, we got this extra cool little layer of protection called a sacrificial anode.
Okay. One of the most scientifically cool parts of this bunker project is something called the sacrificial anode, very similar to the anode inside of a water heater that needs to replace every 5 years, just much larger.
It's not even a bar, it's a casted zinc bar.
Inside of this bag is a 15-pound bar of silver-colored zinc. Zinc is a metal that's extremely susceptible to corrosion, much more so than steel, which our bunker is made from. A sacrificial anode kind of acts like fish bait for corrosion. The zinc rod is surrounded by gypsum, the same kind of stuff that's in drywall. When underground, the gypsum will provide a uniformly moist environment around the anode, so the whole bar will corrode at the same time.
Why do they want it to corrode?
Once again, sacrificing itself so the bunker doesn't corrode.
Oh, I see.
The zinc basically offers us another level of protection. A sacrificial anode has a more negative electrochemical potential than the metal it's protecting. Or maybe, if you think of Thanksgiving dinner, you're gonna eat the thing on your plate that's most delicious first. And the same thing happens with corrosion and zinc.
Hey Sage, you play KJ? Oh wait, never mind. Or can you bait someone with flashes or no?
And
that is not even close to someone
with steel, the earth is going to corrode this sacrificial anode. Again, remember, we're talking about decades and
That is an
centuries. A bar this
insane.
big should buy us another
Wow.
30 years on top of the 100
Okay.
years that the coal tar we painted on earlier gave us. Basically, corrosion is not something I'm gonna have to ever worry about. It's a problem I'm leaving for my grandkids' grandkids. The anode itself costs about $416, so we'll add that to the tally of the whole cost of this bunker. And if this video gets over 100,000 likes, we'll unbury this anode in 10 years to see how corroded it actually got. Hit that subscribe button.
10 years? There's no way. I'm not gonna be waiting
As
for
the hole
that. What
fills
the
up and
fuck?
starts widening onto the terrace steps, we can start to bring in our bigger equipment, like the skid steer and the excavator. Except instead of having a bucket attachment this time, the excavator is rolling a pad foot compactor wheel. Using the whole weight of the excavator, the prongs are able to sink down and put a lot of pressure on specific points of the loose fill, very sufficiently smashing the soil.
looks.
Again, the more my dirt is compacted now, the less settling that will happen later.
That's good. Only slightly terrifying.
I wouldn't have imagined before this project starting that filling up the hole actually takes longer than digging the hole in the first place. Because each scoop of dirt they have to place down and then compact it in levels to make sure that the whole thing is going to stay solid and that the ground doesn't sink once it's all finished and the grass is back on top of it. But we are so close. The top of the culvert is right here, and it's very easy to walk across. It's nice not having the massive hole anymore. This is much
Can you set up
safer,
one?
Flash, get ready.
and I'm excited to
Flash?
see this too
Okay, I'm ready.
completely disappear. We have the hoses running nonstop. It also helps compact the soil, making
Ow,
sure that
mark it.
loose bits of dust and stuff stay stuck between the large
Lock that
rocks.
TT smoke.
And all of the
Dude,
compaction helps
whoa,
the structure
whoa,
to
whoa.
maintain its shape as the earth surrounding it supports the entire structure. The compaction is what allows this tube to be buried up to 100 feet underground, even
NT.
though we're only going 6 feet underground.
Damn, that's annoying.
What do you say, Drone? Ready to stretch your wings?
We only had one smoke? That's crazy. Imagine we had two. That's it, what?
We're working late into the night tonight because tomorrow's the last day they sell sod before winter. Once the ground is frozen, it's over. And the very last patch of pipe is visible and it's going to be gone, hopefully forever. At least for my lifetime. Right here.
104 jet. Yeah. Two mono bid.
I think we have to go
The
A.
outside of the pipe
They
is
have all of
officially
them.
gone.
Stop repeating him! Don't repeat him!
The only
Please!
way to get that tube
Please!
is on the inside.
Scanning ahead.
Once all the clay has been returned to its original layer, we bring it to a nutrient-rich topsoil. With all the gravel and dirt
Oh,
fully
no.
supporting the bottom and sides of the bunker
Yeesh.
tubes, it's now more
Chamber,
than
you
strong
are a
enough
good
to
shot.
support the full weight of the tractor.
Hey, I'm not gonna be too happy about
The
that.
ground and Mother Earth herself has now become my bunker just as much as the metal tube is mine. They're working together to support us through the apocalypse.
Safety's off.
And finally, the large, flat, vibrating rope roller is used to compact the final layer, so it doesn't look like a herd of sheep just finished walking
Flash
through my
high.
yard.
Bro.
And just in the nick of time, it snowed over the weekend.
Okay, well,
Luckily,
can
we had the entire ground put back over the bunker. It's more sod than it is to set a bunker. Does the sod look a little bit dead? Yes, but also it's the winter and it's supposed to be hibernating anyway. I think it's time we see what it's like inside the bunker.
110 on Brim through the wall. If I just kept shooting. I fucked that guy up.
Like just
Yeah,
almost.
we traded.
Yeah, let's bring it back.
You traded shots, bro.
legitimately terrifying.
Need a drop.
So crazy.
Let's fake A.
Alright,
Chamber
Prodigy,
and
bro.
Silva, can you guys make noise A? And I can throw my knife over there. Please.
Ready.
Okay.
And obviously, we're nowhere near complete.
Watch out for the
And
darts
hopefully in
that
the
you
next
throws.
video, we're able to get a floor.
Just start making
underneath,
noise towards A. My
and
knife's
then we
already
have to
going.
build out this bunker as if it were as nice as an RV.
Blocking sight.
Underground that's not very mobile anymore. I'm talking bedrooms, bathrooms,
Nice.
entertainment centers, kitchens. Everything is going to be fully furnished by the time we're finished. But in the next video, for
Fair market.
sure, we will have a floor, hopefully a little bit less echo, and I'm going to go over the pricing of everything.
1 CT, 1 marking.
I got the spike.
But relatively reasonable. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see
CT,
you
CT.
next week. Launching smoke.
Spike planted. My ult's ready.
CT marking.
I'm out.
Okay, time for a protein
Are
shake.
you filming stuff?
Reloading.
Is it going
This
right
place is
now? It
nice,
is
but
going
not nice
right
enough
now.
to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
This is not something that I should say on this video or anywhere. But if you do happen to put this in the video, don't edit out me saying this either.
Context.
Yeah, don't edit out me saying that you shouldn't say it. So if you do put it in, and I hope you don't,
Does anyone
but if you do put it in, don't edit out me saying that you shouldn't, because this is the best part.
Stay sharp. Does anyone have fun? Merci.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Visit BetterHelp.com/Padilla because sometimes existing is exhausting. And if you want to watch an extended, completely uncensored version of this video, click the join button down below to become a member because, oh, we got into a lot of extra shit.
Just cut noise. Don't join you. Okay.
Hello, Bill Wirtz. I've been fascinated by what you do for so long, since the Vine days.
Line
I'm
default
so
is
fascinated
Jen.
by your style
Or
because
lineup.
it's so specific and unique to you. I don't think I'd ever seen
Evan walking
anything like it until I'd seen your style.
I'm watching.
I don't have a choice to use it that way.
Have you ever tried any other style? Or like, is
Every
that
time.
all?
Of course. You want to do things in the same style. I mean, if that's true, that's also kind of a drag. But yeah, of course, every time you try to do it differently. I don't think I'm the only person that answers this question in this way.
Yeah.
I've certainly heard
Agreed.
like, how do you get your style, or why do you do your style? I think most people who get asked that, I can't help it.
Because I've tried to replicate your style for like a while before, and it took.
I would
it took
apologize,
me and my
Suzanne,
editor like a
but
full day to
alas,
do 5 shots.
they are dead.
Right, I am insane. I do
Teleport's ready.
like have a really kind of obsessive focus on how what happens over time, even on the smallest things. And you need to hold the
Let's
passage
rush
of
A.
time
I'm gonna grab the orb and then just
at a very minute level, tightly in the palm of
I'm
my
gonna
hand.
take
I'm
bomb.
one of those people.
So you fight for control of every single microsecond.
Yeah, well, I don't have to fight because I don't work with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot work. I do not work well with others.
Have you tried working with others?
I've tried thinking about considering it,
Spike here.
and I can't. I don't even know.
Sure, sure.
I don't even know what it means to work with other people, actually. I'm so far, like it's so foreign to me.
Did you get started making this style on or did you get started before that?
Well, on the computer, and then it's just there, and then it's like
Dice.
if you want to control
I don't know if
timelines
you should-
so
it's only gonna be
tightly
you
and
and
you
me.
want to really control everything, it turns out it takes a
Yeah,
long
flash,
time
flash.
just to produce a couple of seconds.
Blocking sight.
It's a real drag. How am I ever going to produce it? Like you try for years and years, like you try to like get it together. Like, this is the advice I get from people all the time. Like, how do I get started? How do I get started? How do I get out of the freaking
Seven.
Oh,
so just try
my
something
door.
shorter.
Fuck.
Try
Should kill that guy.
something shorter.
One more heaven,
That doesn't
Bruno.
work, try something shorter. And if that doesn't work, there's a backup plan. And try something even shorter.
7.
I recall actually being so fed
Last
up
one might be to a 9.
not being able to like, get myself out. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write something that's 1 second long.
So why were you trying to figure yourself out? What was the goal?
Need equipment.
Well, I guess when you're doing an audio-visual thing, and you have the video thing, and you have what goes on the screen, and then you have the music, and then even just producing a piece of music, you know, you got to do the drums, the bass, the singing, the chords, the this, the that, the everything. So it's like really just a lot of stuff to do. If you're just starting
Right here.
out, it takes forever to like get the hang of anything because there's so much of everything. But it was actually a pretty cool strategy to just to start, just do something
This is gonna be
extremely
fun.
short. Like I recall writing one that's just called "Die," and it's just singing "Die" just on
Get
one
out
note,
of
just
my
on a C
way.
note with a C chord, and it was actually the greatest thing
Why-
that ever happened to me because it's like you get to go around all the different departments.
You just
Play
pause.
one note,
Nothing.
bass
Wasting.
note, C note, play the C chord, sing the one word. You get to go around everything. You learn the ropes just like that. You keep going.
Nowhere to run!
Backside. Go house.
Doing stuff. You keep throwing yourself into impossible situations
dude.
creatively. Like literally making something that really sucks temporarily, and then watching it come back. That's where the game is.
Is that where you start? You start trying to
It's a common strategy. It's a common strategy.
There's two on site.
Path is here. You feel like you're stuck on. Just take the thing and throw it off.
Last one was market.
Mark.
Seriously,
Sorry.
try to suck as much as you can.
Sorry.
And then as you find your way back,
Stairs.
it'll automatically find its way back to the
planted.
path, and that's where all the good stuff is.
Was it a strategy to make it suck when you created the I'm Still a Piece?
Nice.
Did you see their faces?
Yeah, I just went,
Sorry, I should
put a lot of jingles into the thing. So what I did was actually went through my,
Show off.
I picked a random day and then checked to see what was going on that day, and then turn that into a jingle.
So you just picked a random day out of a journal and
Yeah.
you're like, I felt like garbage this day?
It was 2007, summer of 2007. Really, really rough time for some reason. I just couldn't. I didn't know where I was going. Didn't know what I was doing. It was really, really rough. Probably actually, it was just.
You
just
can't
happens to
catch
be one of
us.
the worst time. So I was like, okay. So what's the point of the story? I'm a piece of garbage. So hello, I'm a piece of garbage. So that's what that one was. Then for another one in that set, or I think for the next one in that set, by coincidence, the same day came up, or like the next day. So now you have two choices.
Your fault.
Doing like this game that I'm doing, or I could just
Close.
go with that.
There's no way you don't trade that.
And that's why I got one that's
Unlucky.
almost exactly the same. Still a piece of garbage, still a piece of
I should have killed that guy too. He would have so hard, and I didn't. Or I didn't hit shit.
The first one, the first one did, and the thing is, the first one took off, like, and did quite well. But then the next day, the second one, like, just went even higher. I think it helped that it was a sequel.
Right.
It kind
You
of,
should
but now
run.
probably no one knows. It's still there, but it's almost exactly the same. But it was just one of many writing exercises that you use to
My ult is ready.
carve out choices. for
No
yourself
more
amongst
to oppose us.
the infinite amount of potential stuff that you could do, which is of course crippling.
What
Damn
type of
right we're
things were
crushing
going
it.
on in your life that led you to being that person that would devote their entire being to these projects? 'Cause I feel like
Yeah, it's
has that always been there?
nothing. It's nothing much, honestly.
buy-
It was
They are so
too
dead.
good. Like there was really nothing wrong
can
with my
buy for
childhood.
you.
Need a
It was
drop.
really good
Thanks.
and kind of empty also.
Thanks.
But
But
also
also,
empty because there was
So can you
was a
drone
big lack
that? I
of
can swing my
Chamber.
knife.
I make space.
to
You
try
hold
and
him
disable
down.
KJ.
yeah, I don't know. I guess there weren't too many. I don't really know. I really don't know. I really don't.
Revealing
I'm not
image.
sure. Again, I think the way I am is just a result of the way I am. I think I was that way before.
Did you consider yourself like a shy kid when you were younger? Like you didn't
Yeah.
want to interact with others too much?
I think so. Well, I have the thing where I have the very standard, which is it's kind of a paradox. Like, yes, they're extremely shy, like in normal life,
Blocking sight.
really what they want to do is
Blocking sight.
you know,
Enemy kill.
yeah, and then when they're on stage, they're much more. Yeah, and when they're doing the I'm thinking of Johnny Carson who asked this, shy, unless
KJ's
I mean, you
I'm
still
sure, exactly.
throw
you know,
me into a social gathering with
Right.
20 people I don't know.
Right,
And it's like, where do you even begin?
exactly.
Like you walking into the studio today, I'm sure you're like,
Planted.
there's a lot going on here. But then get you in
One
context
main,
where-
one CT.
where it is about you and allowing you to
Main and
perform to a
CT.
certain extent.
Sure, yeah.
Feel more
I mean,
comfortable.
What
yeah,
the
these
fuck?
These are well, and I'm also my own editor and my own producer, so it is horrifying. And of course, doing live speaking and stuff is it's a muscle to work. Up. It could be terrifying if you haven't done a lot of it regularly. So it's kind of always a goal
Dude,
to try to do because I'm super envious of these people that just do it every single day.
So going into creating these other bigger videos, which have like 80 million and 160 million views or something,
Show me where
that
to
is
go.
so insanely well. How much time did you have to take off to create those things?
Yeah, well, it was. Let's see. For Japan, I was ready to quit the short stuff. I was like ready to quit.
Yeah.
If I would had every day, I had this pattern where I was like, I've quit. Like at 10 a.m. I'd quit. But then by 2 p.m. I was like, do another one. I wanted to do
Alright,
the long thing. I
let's
wanted to
run it
take
down A. I
real
have my ult
information
again.
from history and just splatter it on the screen. I was sick of doing like, you know,
I have
basic
no
stuff. Take
detail.
something real, like history of like
Why?
place or the world or like I really the world.
I
But
got the spike.
who thinks that's possible? I don't know. I was lying in bed one night. And choose
gonna
like
flash you, right?
contained
Reloading.
self-contained subject. It just came like it's like okay, Japan.
One gen. Jen, There's one on door. One door.
Decision to make something super long. I can only imagine how long it takes to create that 6 seconds because
Right.
I tried to do a 6-second editing for a little bit and it ended up taking a full day of editing just to make that happen. And then you decide to take these 6-second things that you're doing and do the same style and do what is it, 10 minutes
Spike
and
planted.
20 minutes?
My
Yeah, the
ult's
first one
ready.
turned out to be 9 exactly, actually.
So how much time does
Scanning
that
ahead.
take? And are you stopping
It's
it?
insane. I mean, especially for
7.
me. Like, it's actually kind of horrifying to see other like people do stuff. They apparently don't care about like every pixel and everything. I think I don't care about it. Apparently, I do.
That is cold.
Your style is almost made specifically to look like you don't care.
Is it?
I feel like
Maybe
it,
that's
You got this.
that's yeah to counteract how much I do care. Or I don't know.
it looks like it's supposed to be kind of messy and thrown together and feel like it's just kind of like a last minute, who cares?
Isn't it heartbreaking to work for 100 years on something and then people think, oh, you
Right
probably
here.
just threw that together?
I think that's the most genius part of it, is that you
Okay.
make something that's so difficult to do, especially when you, like I challenge you to go try to recreate the style because it is so difficult to do, but you make it look so
Silver
effortless
bus.
that people are like, oh, this is just whatever.
Yeah, and the thing is also like I listen to like Dave Lecter. So when I do these things, the chords have to be mind-blowing every time. And probably a lot of people are not going to really, particularly, at least consciously, they're probably not going to
Launching
like,
smoke.
I think they do on some level, but they don't.
Yeah, I mean, someone who's not into music like me, I just feel like it's a strange feeling, and I don't know if this is intentional, but I feel like the chords that you choose almost like vibrate in my head.
Of course they do. That's what chords are supposed to do. But it's a thankless job. Because it brings you there emotionally, and you don't even know. In fact, a lot of like people probably think, oh, and it is. It's like a hardwired thing. So it's powerful
Just walked
stuff,
out there.
and it should be used
Dude, no way.
care.
But considering it was such a big risk for you to
Take
release
down.
these,
My ult is ready.
were you worried
My
about this
babushka
going to
told me not to
No, I
brag.
was a little bit worried,
For
but not
this,
as,
I make
not
an
as-
exception.
not that worried.
Because,
You're like
I do
falling,
just
man.
a
I
lot
can't
myself,
help.
You know, when I get really
I don't. You need to
invested in the
get
project,
up on
I'm
the chair
passionate about
more,
it, and
buddy.
I'm just so excited to create it. I'm
Yeesh.
so excited for the process of the creation. I'm so excited for it to be released and to feel what it feels like for it to be seen. You know, there's that kind of balancing act of, okay, but I'm devoting so much time
I
and
know.
energy
It's terrifying.
into
and
these projects.
I can only imagine what it's like for people that make full-length movies because it takes years. Like whatever, something like that. I was really lucky because I really saw that things were going well.
Yeah, the second one's going to succeed after the first one, but that first one really was.
Yeah.
100 on jet. Dice.
11 years. I mean,
Tree, there's no tree before you.
There's no way. Heaven.
Yeah.
But it's such a big risk. And during those 11
I'm
months,
taking another risk right now that might not.
do you have any evidence that it might? Or does
Sure.
it seem...
I mean, but there's also evidence that it wouldn't.
Right, you got me so curious.
But the evidence that it would work out is because I think it's good. Because I'm doing my best, and like, if it weren't good, I wouldn't like do it. So like, I think it's good.
Do you feel like you've been shown enough proof that if you feel like it's good, that it will be
Yeah,
enjoyed by enough people?
I know that is the only way to do it. One thing I know for sure, if you're doing something that you don't like at all, like, that's not gonna work.
No.
Or maybe it does, but that's not.
Not so much. I feel like I've pushed myself to create stuff that I don't enjoy. It can just be felt by the audience. Whether you can see it on my face or not, it can just be felt in the content itself.
I don't think it's a good idea. I would not endorse the idea of like doing something that you think other people would like, but you don't like. It's like painting with colors you can't see.
You mentioned earlier about going back into your journal and seeing the time in your life, realizing you felt like garbage, created the piece
They're
about
out.
feeling like garbage. On your website, billworks.com, it's like
Careful.
it's one of the strangest websites I've ever seen.
Scanning
and I say
ahead.
that because I've never seen anything like it. There's all these different dates, and they put them any of the
Right.
dates, and it's one little.
Right.
Kind of feels like a journal entry.
Yeah.
Would you say it's a journal entry?
Yeah, it's text.
Right below.
And it's just like random thoughts.
One gen, one gen.
It's anything.
Two health, both health, both health. Nothing
It's
health.
actually, I mean, we're talking about stuff
Nice.
from a really long time ago, but yeah, you just really want to see what you can do.
I'm gonna go through a couple of your journal entries.
Oh God, I don't know what's there. This
that
is, again,
important?
these are written even before they. This is a long time ago.
So this one's 7/8/21.
Race it to the spike
Does
site.
that mean it was written 2 years ago?
Yeah, that's the
What?
date it was written. Yeah.
So this one says
You
the
little
hardest
dummy.
part about building a room is you have to build a room
Right
to
here.
build the damn room in first.
Yeah.
Drives me crazy.
Right here.
Right. Did I say that?
Are
Reloading.
these the types of things that you're thinking about?
That sounds reasonable to me.
You're thinking about rooms, and you're like, oh, you need a room to build a room in.
I don't recall saying that in particular, but I mean, it sound. I mean, I definitely believe that I said that because it sounds like it makes sense to me.
The year before that, in July as well, you said, what am I doing?
You cannot stay here.
Just general musings of the 2019 to 2020.
Nope. And that's you
Sitting
sitting.
now, as usual, sometimes.
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 Yeah, because you know it's intense.
Don't meow at me. You did something you know you're not allowed to do, so I picked you up, put you somewhere
I
else.
feel like a lot of these posts feel like they are just a dump of whatever
Sometimes,
emotion
sure, yeah.
or thought you're having at the
Could be.
time. And it almost feels like once you write it, you're able to kind of be like, oh, done.
Yeah, it does help.
Revealing area.
Writing stuff helps.
And it helps what? It helps from holding on to it.
I don't know. Expressing things is very, very helpful to me.
I didn't realize for so long, and I think it's just in the past couple of years that I've realized that when they say art is a form of self-expression, all these different things like that, I was like, okay, that's kind of pretentious, whatever. It's just,
What are you doing here, man?
But
Get up here.
I've realized that art really is
Yeah. You dummy. You
self-expression in
can't
the sense that
be
it's
on
releasing
my
an
desk.
emotion that-
Yeah, let me get my
Get
guardian.
it through your head.
What's
If
up?
you don't express it one way or another,
Come get the
some
deagle
people
release,
express
bitch.
it through anger. Some people, you know, punching
Yo.
shit or exercising.
Yo, let me get
really
one of the
hard,
fucking
or even
guns.
Crying. Like,
No.
these are
What's with the
physical
aggression?
ways that you're releasing
what's
this emotion.
Oh, he's
You
barking.
don't
You
have
better
to
give it to him
physically
now.
that
He's
way.
rabid.
You could write it.
Sure.
So it's coming out of your mind. It's on a
I
paper.
just started foaming at the
You
mouth.
kinda release it. You don't have to.
What
hold it
the
in.
fuck?
Is that your approach too?
Well,
you feel like you can't hold it in.
You wanna. Okay, being a living person, you know, you wanna
they are all here.
move around.
I
you
can't
wanna
see.
Do what you're alive to be able to do. So like sometimes, especially if you have a lot of thoughts and whatever, you know, you always want to like move around. Is always good. And for some people who are particularly sort of like language focused or wordy or whatever it is, sometimes talking is good. And yeah, just doing all that.
Can you tell us anything about the project?
Yeah, well, you realize at some point, you know, when you do this,
Oh, it's so dumb.
it's so long of like, oh, I want to do so much.
should've killed
stuff, I wanna do
Silva. It's so
much stuff, I wanna do
dumb.
so much stuff. It's not happening. So eventually I realized, okay,
Snack
you
time.
have to do this. You have to pick which thing you're going to
Sorry.
do. Sign
Only
on to
brought
it, do
enough
it,
for me.
and do it. Buckle in. Nothing else gets done until that gets done. I felt old already when I discovered that, but it was still a long time ago. The problem is that the selection process is so scary because you're stuck with this one thing. It's like unreasonably traumatic for me when I'm choosing from like the list of things that I've written or have, or just choosing what thing to do next.
Together.
Yeah, it's unreasonably traumatic. What I always secretly want to do, well, is do all of them. I want to have the security to know that, yeah, I want to do all. That's, if I really dig deep down, I want to
Scanning
do
ahead.
all of them. Like, I want to do like infinite things, which is not.
And that's every single idea.
Yeah, and I'm not doing that. Don't worry about that. And I did suspend disbelief momentarily.
Lever and Jen.
And there's other reasons too why that's good. Because, you know, like,
Nice, nice.
departments of singing the vocal, whether you're like producing the, you know, the song or playing the, you know, the drums or doing, you know, graphics, modeling or animating. There's like a million different things. And I can do all that stuff, but the problem is it's really a bummer to have to switch between them, especially when I feel like I'm just getting the hang of it. And I feel like if I could just do the same thing on multiple videos, like, okay, now I'm only editing like, you know, like I'm just modeling trees now for 10 videos in a row. Or I'm just, even just singing vocals. I wish I could just be a singer for like 10 things in a row and not have to switch to now doing this other thing. So yeah, I've secretly always wanted to have some sort of a scenario where I do it that way.
Like you want to clone yourself. I mean, cloning yourself would be pretty good.
I don't know if I understand what that means.
Just like you could have one of you that just does vocals.
Don't
Get
fucking
out of
do
my
it.
way.
Drums, one of you that just models trees.
Yeah, but does that mean they're going to release a thing separately, or how does the business end of it work?
I think the business would be that they all work together.
Okay, I don't know. There's a lot of things, a lot of loopholes in that somehow. I don't know.
Can you break down how many different elements they're like how many different hats you have to put
On
on
me.
to make
Yeah.
one of these videos?
You try to do that until you realize that hats actually are made of hats.
Right. So you try to do
So
one
the
hat.
math- the math gets really, yeah, it gets
What?
Because you couldn't even say, oh, just the percussion.
Please tell me one of you guys saw that, Nate.
the chorus,
I saw it.
Sure,
Then
yeah.
the singing, then the
Yeah.
lyrics, then the art, then the graphics, and motion.
Yeah, you can break it down however you want, but yeah. But I have to say, I was right about the fact that it's way more comfortable, at least for me, to just stay in one as long as possible. That's wonderful. It's like it avoids all the trauma. I shouldn't say trauma because like my life is great, but when you're doing something like that, there's things
Okay,
that you
we know the
learn
drill.
Only after
Stick to
the
your roles
25th
and we'll
time,
crush it.
and not before. Like in a recent video, I just decided, okay, we're gonna have, there's a road, and there's gonna be a rush of like 4,000 cars are gonna go by on this road. And I actually made it happen.
funds?
And
Does anyone
I
have funds?
learned when I did that really the power.
Bro,
of, like,
what
this
are you doing?
Because I got them all lined
Yeah,
up, and I modeled them
what
all,
the
like,
fuck?
You know, wheels, and then
Let's
this,
go.
and then that for all of them. Just do wheels, and then just do this, and you have no idea what you're doing for the first 5, even for the first 10.
All
Number
epi.
15, you start to kind of get it, and after number 25 or 30, then
If you do
you're-
something fucking
you've
stupid
got it.
right now, I'm gonna be
And
so
it's just
mad.
like,
Ow.
You never get to that point.
You
if
should
only have to
run.
do a couple of them. So that's sort of the business model that I've figured out, and I've been doing that for the whole thing. And it really works, except for the fact that I'm totally screwed with the area. I don't know if this will ever see the light of day.
Blocking sight.
This car that we're looking, you literally don't know if it's gonna come out.
There's no
Oh, he's in the
way.
smoke.
Together, you mentioned that
That's unsafe.
you wanted to make sure that
Scanning ahead.
that your likeness wouldn't be used for like AI replication and things like
In English.
Deploying
Technically, they're still written in English, right? So it
Yeah.
ought to. Possibly. So and I was doing an okay time reading it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it was a long sentence with a million commas that it has to be because they want to keep it as open as possible, like this and that and this and that. But it did look like at one point you said, "We will own all the rights to everything that is ever recorded by us or otherwise." It didn't say a time.
I'm not
limit.
even-
So
I don't
I'm doing
know.
some calculations in my head, like that really means you're saying you're going to own everything that I've ever done.
Bruh.
I know that's not what you.
That's not the intent, but
It's not what the point of this is. But I'm like, it's so simple. I shouldn't
I threw.
probably check up on that.
I just found it interesting that you went there with that thought. I think more people should, because more
Right.
people should be concerned about protecting themselves, especially when things kind of imply in perpetuity all content
Sure.
with recorded within this space
Across the universe,
across the universe.
or in other universes in the future that may have not been created yet.
I think it literally says that.
Yeah, I know.
And that kind of implies that we could, if you were to sign this contract, use your likeness recorded here to replicate, create AI
Sure,
based
sure.
on you. Is that a concern that
There's no fucking way.
someone would use your likeness
There's no. What are we gonna do? What is anyone?
against
What
AI?
is happening? What are we gonna do? You know what I mean?
Like against AI?
Son, true.
What is anyone doing? You know, the thing is, a long time ago, it was like only, and I know this because I did some research actually for a video. Life was only like single-celled organisms. And that was it. Like it could manage within itself, but it couldn't they couldn't work together. They couldn't, reach out minds, they couldn't work together.
Tough.
Eventually, through some breakthrough, they figured out how to like coalesce together into like a full person or animal or whatever it is, like us. Like we're like, we have like a brain thing that actually we can control ourselves. Like the whole thing works together, right? By the way, all of these things, like over billions and billions of years, it all just discoveries are made, and then you get to the next more advanced way of doing it, and like it sort of happens faster and faster. But so it occurs to me quite often, all the main big problems in the world that people are like, oh no, this is wrong with the world, oh no, like people hate each other, oh no, da 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 da. The problem is like that we all kind of have our own
Smoke
kind of like that
Yeah, I
single
dinked
cell
one
organism.
for like 140.
We can't actually, we're not all like one. Like we don't have the infrastructure. Even if we wanted to be one and behave as one, we couldn't. Because we're still actually separate. The problem is, if we all like
No fucking way.
do actually become like together, then we will possibly like lose our personal identity. So people like you or like me, artists that have a business and do things with your name and da 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 da, like all of that will kind of be, it will be disappointed, like because that means everything we've sort of worked, this whole paradigm we've worked in will be kind of like not valid anymore.
Right.
But it occurs to me.
Grounded. Lock in sight.
It does occur to me
Dude.
that like.
Oh fuck. Oh bro.
Enemy spotted A.
Oh my god.
Irrelevant, possible.
Oh my lord. Whoa. That's tough.
It's
just tough.
Good, because it means none of us would, like the chips, we wouldn't have to hold on to our own chips anymore, and we'd out, by default, we would have to work towards the greater good.
ready.
We have to.
It wouldn't be about protecting one's own
Well, fuck.
individuality.
Exactly.
It would be for the greater good.
Exactly.
of-
So it just might be like the scariest thing that we might fear as personal people that have worked our lives to like build a name for ourselves. Our greatest fear, but it just might actually be that might be what we need anyway.
It would be a lot less to worry about because everyone would have each other's back.
This is not something that I should say on this video or anywhere. But if you do happen to put this in the video, don't edit out me saying this either.
Context.
You
Yeah,
should
don't edit out
run.
me saying that you shouldn't say it. So if you do put it in, and I hope you don't, but if you do put it in, don't edit out me saying that because that's really the best part.
132. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Evolving past that.
One gen maybe. Lever.
Your
Last
work,
days.
approaching your work and how you evolved with that. It almost feels like the way that you approach your work is like you see it as an evolutionary process.
It's shocking how much everything reminds me of that research I did for history of the world. Like everything, like the early stuff, the cells, and then people learning to read, and then publishing books, and writing, and developing language,
103,
everything in
bro.
the development of computers. Like it all reminds me of that so much. And even just doing other things, like learning to program. Even just my own process of learning to program. You learn this, you learn a bunch of stuff. Okay, you write some functions, and now once you write the function, now you can use the function, and everything is faster after that. So it's like this learning, you know, like developing things and like learning and discovering things, and then once you learn something, that opens the door to like the next level of stuff you have to learn. It's like shocking how much everything in life seems to follow that pattern. It's kind of spooky.
Deep breath.
Yeah, it just seems to be the way like the way things work.
Yeah, to me, I almost think about the beginning of the universe.
Grounded. Lock in sight.
As the physics existing, and then matter exists, and then everything.
You're in the
else just
way,
kind of
cat.
naturally-
You're just in the way.
Yeah. I'm not actually sure what happened with the exact
Reloading.
design of the universe. Yeah.
Not at all.
Running mid.
No, I'm not.
Whether it's a bang.
Bang seems really vague.
Yeah.
The fact it's called a Big Bang has uncertainty written all over it. Seems super vague.
Super vague.
I don't know. I think that's I think that's a placeholder for.
Yeah,
Dude,
because
I
before
can't
that,
believe you.
say where the laws of physics come from.
Watch
in the
main
first
chamber.
place,
Watch
because
main,
everything
watch main.
occurred in the bang.
Right.
I think they were there before the bang.
Yeah.
So you can't say the Big Bang was the beginning of the universe if the laws of physics already existed, because where did that begin?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not sure about.
Actually, I was hoping to have you on here today to explain that. to me.
No.
Oh. Well,
Lessons there, lessons there.
scrap this video, man. That's where I was really trying to go with this conversation.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the
140.
long-awaited episode of Stuntman Reacts 2023. It's been a while. We have not been on the
What
track
are you
together.
doing here? You're not allowed.
Ren is a special
Ah,
guest.
you dumb baby.
I have been trying to be on this couch for this show for 4 years now, and I finally get the chance. So I'm excited to show you guys a clip that I've been really wondering about today. Wait.
I think they stitched it.
I don't see a
there's two
stitch.
jumps. This is Donnie Yen being Donnie Yen.
Ooh, across the face.
I have a clip from what is deemed perhaps the most dangerous film ever made.
This is stunts only because there's a camera.
Stay down.
Crew members were injured.
No
while making
way.
this film. I think
That's a
once you
lot,
see what the
dude.
movie's about, you're like, oh, just 70?
Okay.
Look! Yo, it's a lion. It's a bunch of lions.
It's a whole pride.
So the guy in the blue
There's three here.
is Noah Marshall, who is the director and writer and producer of this movie, and he acts in it as well. The story behind this movie is crazy. The lead actress from The Birds, Tippi Henderson, and her husband, Noah Marshall, went on a safari. They're really inspired. And they're like, let's make a movie about lions. And just like, what, there's like a house where they're doing research like Jane Goodall, except instead of monkeys, it's lions. And they're like, I love that
That's
idea.
too mid.
Let's get as many lions as we can to raise them from cubs so they're comfortable around people, which, by the way, this is in Sherman Oaks.
Oh, I thought you were in a completely different spot.
And the government was like, you can't do this. So they got a bit of property up in Soledad Canyon and built this ranch, effectively this big cat ranch. So this is kind of like
he hits me while he's full blind.
And you can see the actors like getting
like,
genuinely uncomfortable with the scene.
I should have killed that guy.
No.
He just dropped.
Not them deciding they want to jump him.
Hearing him trying to deliver his lines like, these guys are just playing around. He's like,
Yo, they don't know how to go easy. They're just like, here you go. Here's all 190 pounds of me.
cats, as we know, if you have a pet cat, are basically fun little cuddly things with razors on the edges of them. And so everybody's constantly getting cut. Everybody's constantly getting bit. I'm gonna tell you more about this. Let's just watch a little scene here.
I gotta go help your uncles. They're killing each other.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane.
This is stunts only because there's a camera. Oh, you want to go? Yeah, all right.
Look at his hand now. He just got cut.
His hand went limp.
And just, dude, that lion's claw just slaps his hand and slices it open. And you can tell he's like, ouch. He's like, all right, cut. It's hard to find articles about this that are like not sensationalized because they're all written as if like lions attacked and mauled 70. Right. It's like, the lions aren't attacking anyone.
No.
If the lions were attacking somebody, they'd be dead. But it's, you know, it is cinema. They're faking it. The lions are playing roughhousing. They're not trying to eat the people.
How you would play with your dog.
Right, exactly. You're just dealing with the natural consequences of being in close proximities with the lion. The director of photography is Jan de Bont.
Really?
The man who directed Speed and Speed 2.
No way.
Yeah. He got scalped by a lion in this movie.
Did he get hit? Did he get caught
yeah. So they had a scene where he dug a hole with the camera where he wanted all the lions to run by.
Yeah.
And so they filmed the scene of the lions going by, and he turns to get the shot because he's the kind of guy who gets the shot, right?
Right.
And one lion's like, "What's that?" And scalps the entire back of his head. And it's all hanging forward. So he had to go to the hospital and get it all stitched back on.
Oh my God.
And it's experiences like that that made the man that shot Speed 2 Cruise Control, where they crashed a boat into an actual fake town.
Oh my God,
We saw that when Jordan Allen brought in on VFX Honest Reaction.
Jesus
like, what kind of man would ever do
Christ,
something that's
dude.
insane? It's like, oh, the kind of man who shot a movie with 150 lions.
Oh my God, that many lions!
That's awful.
It's like, it makes a lot of sense now. On one hand, this is such a unique gem of a movie. On the other hand, it's really irresponsible.
You just factory reset me with
Really
that.
kind of, they probably didn't feel like they were exploiting the animals, but at the same time, it is exploitation of animals.
100%.
But at the same time, the director is the one there in the shot too. So it's like, it's one thing to be like, I have a crazy idea, you go do it.
Right.
So they'd be like, I have a crazy idea, I'm gonna go do it.
I have a crazy idea. Follow me.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I can admire the dedication while still not admiring the ways in which it was done.
Execution,
Yeah. So would you consider this stunt work?
No, I would not.
I'd agree with
consider
you.
this hazardous work. This is out of my wheelhouse. Don't call me.
So this isn't
Like, these actors are just, it's a full send every shot. It's like, I'm full sending, even though I'm just standing next to a tiger.
I'm just, like, at all times, I'm worried. That's so much stress and anxiety.
Honestly, I think they're lucky no one died.
They are. I would say they're lucky that one of the lions didn't flip that switch and go into your food.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Producers Reacting and Ready-to-Eat Meals. Today's sponsor is Factor Meals. The box just arrived. I'm gonna heat one up and tell you a little bit more about it. So I'm going with the Hollywood chicken bowl. It's gonna be super easy to marinate to go. While that's cooking, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about
Damn.
We produce a ton of content that we are constantly working on, and there's not a lot of time outside of that. So, Factor Meals is a perfect meal service because they meal prep your meals delivered right to your door. Not to mention, Factor Meals are designed by chefs and dietitians. That means they're not only delicious, but they're nutritious. There's over 34 choices weekly for you to choose from. You can upgrade to Gourmet Plus, and they offer protein shakes and smoothies that are also delivered. You can add more than just meals to your package. That means you can skip the extra grocery trip, you can skip the meal prep. Factor meals are fresh, never frozen, ready to go in 2 minutes. You just heat them up and you get right back to achieving your goals. What else is there to say? Who doesn't want conveniently delivered to your door meals, ready to go for whenever you're in the day, or you just want to get on top of your nutrition goals? I'm gonna eat this lunch right now. If you want to get on
He's right now to doors to A.
Aye, bruh.
50% off your first box. Great food, ready to go for 50% off. What's not to love? Just hit that link in the description. Make sure you use that promo code.
Unlucky, dude.
Toxin screen down. Have you guys seen Ted Lasso?
Of course.
Yeah, all 3 seasons?
Yes.
Oh wow, okay, so this is from season 2, episode 9, when Beard goes on his crazy, as they say.
Nowhere to go.
So then this scene came out of
Their
nowhere.
jet has nothing
I remember
on
being
me.
like, ha ha ha,
I
Beard.
got her.
Wait, that is Beard.
Oh.
Wow.
I think Beard is on wires. But I think there's a transition at the end to an effect shot or a stunt person.
I think they stitched it.
I don't
think
see a
there's 2
stitch.
jumps. I think there's 2 jumps. I've seen somebody do a similar test, having a performer perform this stunt 2 ways, and they're able to match how the arms are moving.
I think the transition is right as it comes out of slow motion. If you watch his face really carefully, I feel like the beard disappears right at the last second, just a little bit. Right now, that's a new guy.
Expert transition.
Yeah.
Wow. The body transition was flawless.
It was really well done.
One's out already.
That's
Killer.
They're just that good.
One more killer.
That's how he moved his arms. Okay, cool. Got it.
113,
That's a
113.
little flow.
There's an op half
But like that actual fall, though,
We're
is he
done
on
here.
wires and descending, or is he actually dropping?
There's an
I'd
op
say
half
they
wall.
put him on the thunder.
Because it looks like he's falling on his feet.
Yeah, so what happens even when you put
Bruh.
thunder, they descend you for a certain amount of the speed, and then they treat it as if you're still jumping from 10 feet. So they'll descend it to that.
Motherfuckers
amount
in the zone.
and let you just drop 10
I hate
feet.
that.
Okay, so it's like a speed limiter.
Exactly.
I love this show, first off. I love this show. And this scene just came out of nowhere. It was like, haha, oh wow, crazy stunt.
Right.
What?
Need a drop.
It's the perfect use of like, let's not go too ambitious. Let's keep it really
Can we
straightforward.
drop that?
It's a one-shot moment. And because the one-shot moment
All right.
ends up being really compelling and really like visceral feeling.
You're going to die.
John Wick!
We haven't spoken about this.
We haven't spoken about John Wick 4. I think maybe it's because I'm like hoping that we can eventually get like Chad on the couch.
I think we can. So I want to start with just, I was like, let's do a little bit.
Man, if only I had a different gun other than a fucking classic.
He's playing this character named Kane, who's blind, and he's trying to get a gist
Would've been
of how
great.
badass his character is.
Man, he's so fast. How
Fucking
is that
unbelievable.
so limber?
How old is he?
He's like in his 50s.
Yeah, he's still very fast, but a lot of what's making him fast is like he's doing small movements.
Right.
You gotta
And
figure out where to go, dude.
Really selling the hits, and they're doing
I need you to
rapid fire
hurry
hits. Like, this
up,
guy gets hit in the face with the
please.
sword. Donnie Yen just kind of wiggles his hands like this,
Pop, 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 pop.
you know.
Pop.
But the guy really sells it,
Yeah.
and he sells it fast. He's whipping his head back and forth.
Is there any like purpose to that type of kick? I feel like that would be really hard on your knee.
It's an axe kick. He's using it, I guess, as an exclamation mark, similar to like Bruce's stomp.
One dude.
I mean, it would hurt your knee. if you
Fucking
don't do it
Reyna
right.
mid.
I feel like
He's going for my
now
gun. He got
watching
it.
I feel like he's actually landing on the bottom
Easy.
as opposed to
Got
the
it.
heel.
My
Right.
ult's ready.
He's flat-footing it. He's being nice.
So just
He
Don't
would
fucking
actually
groom
fight
me,
with the
dude.
field, though.
So this beat.
Give him a little
The
hit
wind
man.
up.
Pow! Give him a little flat point. Like, it gave
There's one more.
everything that Donnie Yen is known for doing
Both be,
in
both
this
be.
fight.
No
They gave him
charges
a
left.
piece of right,
Nailed
big
them.
wind up. The thing he does all. Bow! Connects it all together, which is really fun.
Viper
That's
had to
where it
plan
gets
that,
into
man.
Another
Your
fight?
star to your actor who's
Plain
performing.
And they overlap into what's basically
I'm gonna ult
characters
in this round.
for these actors is funny and strange, but in a good way.
Right?
Like the fact they have signature moves and they have these attitudes, these characters they play, and even like here's my finisher,
Sure,
the people's
right.
elbow. You know, this is his people's elbow.
Exactly. Right. Ren, you should see the whole film, and then we can talk.
I'd
When
love
we get
to,
Chad
yeah.
here, we'll talk more in depth of all the crazy stunts that they did in this movie.
You better
'cause
run,
it's
Silva.
literally an action film. Like it's just a buffet. There's been something that's been living in my head, Nico. Something that bothered me as a kid. I want to see if we can debunk it right here on the show today.
Oh, sweet.
The Musketeer has his final fight scene. Let's look at this ladder fight.
Oh, that man just floated.
So like the movie turns in kind of Wu Ping-ish. It turns into Wu Jia, kind of.
I sense fight word.
Oh man.
Whoa. Yo.
Yes!
I feel like it'd be so easy to just slip when you're landing on
This
something
guy.
and your foot just goes
Diffuse
through the
spike.
ladder.
Uh,
That's not exactly how
They weigh
balance
the
beam
same.
works,
They
but
weigh the
sure.
same.
Even if you're fighting your mortal enemy, by this point in the fight, you'd be like, hold up, bro. This is crazy. What we're doing is crazy, is it? And they'd be like, yeah, this is bonkers.
They're like, yeah. They just look at each other like,
You died
Yeah,
16 times
is
on my
really
count.
cool.
For some reason, I feel like I've seen
Huh?
this fight before, or something very close to this fight before, and I think it's in
I just
Once Upon a
won.
Time in China.
That's it.
Just, let's watch. Let's
Okay,
see.
okay.
Dude, you're so weird.
All right, here we go. Am I a musketeer?
whoa, they split
Oh,
the ladder.
heck yes.
Whoa, that's cool. Climbing the ladder while it's like still falling over.
Escaping. Truly on wires. Oh, I actually saw a wire there.
Get out of my way!
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see it. I did see it.
I never realized how much wire was. It's like this
There's no way.
They did that stunt. It's like little by little.
So
There's
dumb.
magic tricks in every shot, and there is real stunts and danger, but it's more that there's like it's physically demanding stuff. It's things where you have to be physically trained for it.
Right.
I mean, it's safe to say that the Musketeer is definitely inspired by this fight.
Yes.
The question is how
much?
specific.
Right.
I'm waiting to see a balance beam ladder fight.
Right. That's why I'm like, I feel like there is a balance beam, little seesaw action.
It seems these strangers won't be dead.
Seesaw.
Here it is. Oh.
Wow. But it's like
That's
a
so
freaking
cool. Holy fuck.
teepee.
It's just inspired by.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give Musketeer just a simple, good homage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel like it ripped this off. It'd be very hard to rip this off.
That's true.
Like if they could rip this off, like whatever, kudos, good job. You just did one of the hardest scenes in stunt work.
But yeah, so that was it. It was debunked.
1B.
It turns out that the Musketeer was inspired by. It didn't fully just rip off
Coming over
one
to
of
you,
my
Sky.
favorite Hong Kong
I
films.
know
Thanks
exactly
for doing that with me, Nico.
Fucking hell.
This is
2 minutes,
been
that would be-
one of my favorite movies for some reason. For some reason, it stays rent free in my head.
Last Samurai is a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great
Tom
movie.
Cruise, man. Tom Cruise. And this is like the son of the guy who he killed. So this is like the kid's opportunity to beat his ass, right?
Yeah.
This is like revenge time.
Okay.
Kid's going now. He just catches it. Like just like we're playing. This is supposed to be sword fighting, and here you are grabbing the blade, and then it's like, word to my your own size.
I love this actor here.
He's so good.
I love this guy.
Jeez, went straight for the ribs.
Ooh, across the face.
Like
that would take you out for the rest of the day.
We get a pick, we move in. Got it?
Ah, fuck.
yeah, like
What's the trick to selling pain on camera? Like if you get punched, you're like, ah! Not selling the hit, but like the pain afterwards.
showing the effect of it, right?
Right. Like if you watch like an MMA fight, when somebody gets punched, they're not like, oh! Yeah, you know, it's like
right. They'll like Jackie makes faces. Like, ah.
What about the emotion in the face? So like so let's say you have to sell it with an expression, like, and you're like, well, do you go the Jackie Chan route of going, or like, what is the way to do that?
Well, it depends on the character. So
Yeah.
his character, for instance, he's supposed to be a soldier. So he shows that he's in pain, but then he has to show that he is going to overcome it. So you show the, oh, that hurt, and then I can't show you that hurt though. So it's the same with feeling of anger or emotion and not being allowed to show it. Most people, when they cry, they don't want you to see them cry. You know, like they immediately wipe it away. They don't just let the one tear drop, like you see in all the movies. It's like I'm vulnerable. So I'm showing
Dude, there's no way.
but then I have
That's
to get
so
back
fucking
into
dumb.
strength.
Hey, it's Boomer. I love Boomer.
Two, left away.
I can hear you. ISO, come to me. I can hear you mid.
The facial expression is through body language, which we see when he goes.
Oh, they're leaving. They're leaving. They're out. Let me heal.
Well, also his performance here, like,
Wait, there's
evolves
one
when
some-
One day.
it's slower and more tired. To the
Yeah.
point at the end, he's
You guys
like
got the wood.
barely even like throwing it, but he's still trying.
Exactly. And that's where he pulls at our heartstrings here. This is how he wins over everybody, including the
Just like me.
as this man who is
I
fighting
won't.
these demons along with having to be a
You
captain
pop it now?
and
Pop it.
earn the respect of the people around him. And that's like one of the biggest things that
I'm gonna be late.
My bad.
I think from my window.
Is how does it push us forward in the story and make us care about the character?
Yeah, because especially in this movie, where
There is
later
one.
on this pays off when he becomes an expert,
Yeah,
they
window,
can
window.
fend off an entire squad of
Whole training montage that leads to him being able to withstand 14, 15 strikes, and they're betting on him, you know. Make sure you guys subscribe to CorridorDigital.com.
I actually did it. And I must
Oh
say,
man.
I'm quite proud of you. Within this over 1,000 gallon tank is my magnum opus. And in my heart, I feel it is one of the greatest things I've ever created in my entire life. I'm going to show it to you, but I must say, constructing it has been an adventure and a half, full of twists, turns, heartbreaks, and triumphs. But the utter
This random
biological
peaks from like
beauty
bottom
of it
mid to
made
kind
it
of
worth
like
the
every
journey.
round.
In celebration
Can you
of
flash
recently
it?
hitting
Oh,
5 million subs on this
yeah.
channel, this new
Then can you
tropical
throw your,
world of ours within
undergarment?
glass will serve us a very special purpose in the world of science. And I'll explain how it all came together in this crazy story
Fuck, it didn't go
of
up.
how I created a living,
One's
mist-breathing cloud rainforest within glass. Part 4 of my Ultimate Ecosystem series, which I
Help you, one up, one up.
One down.
Welcome to the Ants Canada Ant Channel. Please subscribe to
There's one on site B? Or no?
Back off, just back
No,
off.
we could on.
Play numbers.
Enjoy. I knew creating a giant cloud rainforest vivarium, incorporating a ton of tropical animals, plants,
Hey.
bacteria,
Okay.
and fungi was no
I
easy
can
task.
hear you.
I mean, I'm no god, but as your creator of worlds
I
on
can
this
hear
channel,
you.
I knew successfully pulling off an ecosystem
Outside.
terrarium, which was the main objective of this giant cloud rainforest build, would require me to apply all
Let's
the
go.
knowledge and
Give it 1v1.
experience I've acquired over a lifetime beyond just ants, but of biology, animal husbandry, terrarium building, aquaria, etc.
I looked away.
So even prior to the
I get distracted so
actual
easily, dude.
I have been studying and planning non-stop. Dare I say obsessed? Day and night to make sure all details of this rainforest build were covered. If you haven't seen the past 3 episodes of this series, which was largely a research phase and a crowdsourcing of your ideas, I've placed the playlist link in the description so you could check out those episodes after watching this episode. But when the team that I had commissioned to build the initial tank unit arrived this week, my heart was racing a million miles a minute. This was it. No more planning now. It was time to execute and build
Got spiked.
ultimate
2B.
animals and plants were
Uppy.
waiting on standby.
Oh, Reyna elbow.
Build this guy. Build this guy.
My ant tanks
That might be on site already,
around
Cookie.
in a game of musical begins to accommodate the new gargantuan
Andy.
setup that was about to become
One's in our spawn.
the Antiverse.
Watch it behind you, Jet. Watch it behind you.
Setup had to be drained of water.
Dude, no fucking way.
I actually liked it better.
He shoots so fast.
My Marauder ants
I'm just trying to have an
dragon
eagle right
setup
now.
that used to be there had to be moved
Boomer.
closer to a window. Beside the
Dude,
blades
I'm
of Midas,
crazy.
my spiny
I'm
ant
not-
setup. My trap giants had to be moved to another window where it looked much neater. Anyway, the base of the setup looked sturdy and was huge. The entire thing was about 10 feet long. Everything would be held together by frames, silicone, and glass. It took the team the entire day to finish it, but when they did, laying eyes on the empty tank in the ant room was such an experience. I've never before had nor designed
Ooh,
a
it's
tank
over
this
here.
huge.
There's a couple over here.
Walking up to it was a dream. I was in awe and felt like an athlete the night before the Olympics.
Oop.
I knew all my terrarium building skills
Oop.
would be stretched to
More
the
elbow.
limit with this one.
Stubba.
And all culminated to this sole terrarium. Let me show you the specs of this tank.
Enemy
To
down.
get in,
Jet's the
you
window.
have to go out the back. There are 2 glass panels which swing
Spike down.
I'm in.
The terrarium would be housing a lot of life, and I didn't want things escaping all over the place whenever I needed to get in.
Last
So
one was
this was the
window with
best
op.
way in my mind. I also wanted a full unobstructed view of the front, so I chose for no doors there. I knew I would be needing some good space at the top for lighting and climate equipment.
So I had an upper compartment created to house all the lights
That's so
and
cool.
gear. Speaking of climate equipment, I also knew ventilation was key, particularly for the animals I had in mind for the vivarium. So I had the side made with an opening door with mesh for ventilation. The top of the tank, of course, was also mesh. Now, before starting any terrarium build, I always visualize what the final result would look like.
Flash main.
I began to trace
I
the general
don't think
shape
you
of
should
what
do
I wanted the
that.
vivarium to look like in my mind.
Now you can.
I even drew a sketch several weeks ago of what I wanted it to look like. For me, this visualization
But
phase
what?
is imperative
How
before actually
how
building,
deep was he?
because it would help inform all my aesthetic choices made
Mm.
during the building process, which you will see later.
We know what we're
The tank
doing.
was empty now,
Trust each other and
but I
we'll be
could see
fine.
it, already done in my mind.
Okay.
It was late, so tomorrow would be building day. But little did I know, this terrarium building process would turn out to be harder than expected and wouldn't go as planned. The first thing I needed to do was silicone a wall. I wanted the vivarium to have a water portion, so that wall separating the water from the land needed to be set in place. But before that, I needed to prep the rock wall. And for that, I'd like to introduce to you what has become my best friend throughout this entire rainforest building journey. This was the
Hold on. Alright.
Escaping foam. It was my first time using it. It's by a company named Dymax. Hashtag not sponsored.
One just jumped out the wall.
Basically a biological
Okay, back side.
survey
Nice. One more on the other side. Might go orange.
I decided to give it a try and began to use
Double
it
door and
to glue
orange.
sphagnum moss to the back of our rock wall. To my surprise, it worked like a charm.
Ow,
I
you
just
fucker,
sprayed the
ow.
salt onto the moss,
Silver was mid.
and sure enough, the foamy glue stuck the rock moss to the rock wall like a charm.
He's top,
When
That
this
shit
was done,
hurt,
we
dude. Why would you
carried
do
the
that?
entire thing, which weighed a ton, into
Cypher
the
big.
tank, where I proceeded to silicone it at these
Yeesh.
long brackets.
Scary.
This is what the rock wall
Spooky.
looked like from the front.
Oh.
It
Ow,
would soon
fuck.
become the
Ow,
coolest rock wall
fuck.
ever when we were done with it. Now that the rock wall was in
I'm just
place,
in
I
pain,
could better judge
dude.
where
Holy
to
fuck.
silicone our water barrier wall, and
getting
I
hurt.
began to silicone that into place. Next up, from rock wall to a moss wall. Wait until you guys see this. I measured out the piece of stainless steel chicken wire I'd be needing for this epic moss wall. When cut to size, I began to cover it with dried sphagnum moss, using the scaping foam. When it was done, I set it in place. And guys, now for the real star of this terrarium build, the tree stump. Oh man, now when building a terrarium, I always choose one item to be the main star of the show, so to speak. One central piece of landscape decor that would steal focus and have everything around it revolve. The star for this tank was this tree stump. In my initial sketch idea, the main star in my mind would be the branches. So for weeks, I kept my eyes open for some interesting looking branches to play that role. That was until I spotted the tree stump. It was in my neighbor's front yard, and I drooled when I saw it. I asked my neighbor if I
can't
could
do
have
shit.
it, seeing as it was already dead and was useless. And to my surprise, he said yes.
One less.
We had to chop it from the ground. The thing was massive. So massive that it actually didn't fit in the tank.
The fear.
When we first tried to install it, we each took turns hacking
One
away
more.
at the back of it to make it fit. And let me tell you, whatever this wood was, it was iron solid. It took forever to chop it to size.
I can hit. Oh, fuck, behind. Flank.
Brought this unwieldy stump into place. The idea was to have it sit a bit higher, so I had a wooden stool ready to become its great throne within the setup. Then I wanted the tree stump to be tilted to the right and leaned up
I got
against
your
the
back.
moss wall,
Just,
holding the
you know,
moss wall in
from the
place.
front.
And there it was.
Yeah, this shit was saving
So
turn now.
pretty. A tree stump king with its attractive mossy cape ready to steal the show. I siliconed one side of the moss wall into place and allowed the entire thing to dry overnight. I also siliconed the other side of the water wall. And that was the end of day one. All silicone needed to dry now before the next step. But little did I know, life would throw an unexpected wrench into our great terrarium building plans. Early the next morning, It was the scheduled water test. I always get nervous with these water tests because I've had bad experiences with water walls leaking and have learned to never start a terrarium build with a water wall without first testing that water wall for leaks. And luckily, I didn't start the actual terrarium building prematurely because what I spotted made my heart drop to my stomach. Leaks. And not just inside the tank, but also outside the tank. The setup was not waterproof. I wasn't sure if it was my fault by not explaining that the tank needed to be waterproof, but perhaps the manufacturer thought he was building a completely dry tank, like the display case wall.
Wait, do we want that?
Them build in my room, but worrying and blaming.
You want it?
Dig it.
The entire thing was leaking and leaking bad. I spotted where the leak was. It was an unsiliconed corner. So I removed the water and re-siliconed everything, including that corner, as well as the inside and the outside of the water portion. It was good that we spotted the problem, but I had lost a day, as we would need to allow the silicone to dry before proceeding with a second water test. The next day,
was I just like not saying anything the whole time?
When it was full,
yeah.
I was happy to see that
I was giving so many call-outs.
I placed the tape at the watermark and would have to check back in a few hours to verify that it was indeed leak-free.
Sniper's double door.
That smoke's perfect.
Oh, fuck.
What a fucking shot.
Smoke makes no sense.
But there was still a leak somewhere. So once again, I drained all the water out and went in again to silicone a massive band this time over all joints, corners, and edges.
I'm just gonna ult this. Fuck up.
Was that the silicone
Pillar.
was not for aquarium use.
Doors and pillar.
In the past.
Ignore the doors, guys.
Just building your tanks. Be sure to get
Backside now.
for aquarium.
He's one shot.
While waiting for the
Dead.
silicone to dry, I used this time to do things like clean the glass.
Heyo. I'm not even here.
Oh, she was it.
Hi.
To properly get in to wipe the glass. The next day, I was ready for the third leak test. Overnight, I had sucked up all the trapped
142,
using paper towels. This was the moment of truth. So many items, tank decor, and plants were waiting on the
If you try to
can
sit
we go
down, I'm
B
moving
and
you.
Sky can dog the trip?
And I had hoped it would be today.
I swear to God, if you try to sit down right now, I'm
And
gonna be so
Viper,
mad.
if you grab orb, we have your ult
When the
too.
tank
Or
was
if you
full,
plant.
I checked
Alright, let's play contact. And then I'll dog up.
And this continued for the next
Dude, I need you to move.
No, here, I'll grab orb.
In
Let me
the
just
way.
plant zero.
Stop.
test, which also meant that
Oh, fuck contact.
fun was about to begin.
Cypher's backside.
We needed a drainage layer.
It came back so
lava
fast.
rock, and a log. I also used level gravity and spread it throughout the tank floor. The purpose of a drainage layer
Don't scratch me.
is for water to sit while not having
scratch
to
me,
water
dog.
the soils, which can be hard
We don't have to
for
sit.
plants. They drown important soil creatures and produce anaerobic spawns.
Mid and
which
arches.
can be
2
toxic
mid,
for
1
life.
arches.
Next, charcoal. This is the carbon agent I would be using to
Watch
absorb
out flank for
impurities.
Jet.
It also helps reduce odors.
Jet CT, Jet
Over
CT.
time, in a terrarium,
Out CT.
a must-have for our
Did I just say
rainforest
McDonald's
growth.
now? Why the fuck we call it
Pieces of
McDonald's?
rotting wood. This would help in giving the soil structure, provide nutrients to the soils,
Oh,
and
so-
act as a food for a number of soil creatures. I also
This shit
added
came
some
back
large
so
decayed
fast.
leaves for a similar purpose. Finally, it was time to add soil.
Jesus
I ended up
Christ.
using 10 bags of soil. Now we want to give the
We can
plants
just buy
within our
another one.
vivarium the best
Just
chance
let them
to
try
thrive.
to catch
So within this bag was the most potent of stuff. Poop from my goat Billy, aged for a few
I can buy
months,
one.
mixed with decayed leaves and grass.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
dank. But once the stuff starts breaking down and releasing its nitrogen-rich compounds into the soils, our plants would rejoice.
We're actually
and
one
solid.
off from
truly
Chamber
live
ult
their
too.
best lives. I then added a layer
I
of
can use it
filler
next
for
round,
more
saving.
nutrients.
This Jet always likes to peek like very tight
And once
here.
the ground medium was set, it was now my favorite part, landscaping and planting. I started with the moss wall. Though the moss wall was
Reloading.
dead, my vision for this moss wall was for it to be alive with
I'm gonna
plants
dog.
growing on it. So I cut holes into the wall to accommodate various plants in pots, or stuck directly onto the moss. That was
There's one mid.
I began to work on
I mean, it's just, oh, we're not peeking anything. Oh, this
process
wall.
was a lengthy process, grabbing the nowhere to run.
No charges left.
These asparagus
Popping
fruit,
orange.
which I love, and you'll see why when it's all finished. And rearranging them around until I was satisfied.
Open door.
Look and shape they formed. Once that was done, I proceeded to continue adding, rearranging, and testing out the look of various other plants in
I
the
thought that
field.
was the
As you
like
can
the
see
drop
here,
sound,
I
not the
start
door
with
sound.
larger items
Not bad.
first and make my way down to smaller items. I find it easier to work that way. What made this terrarium build
We want
extra
that kind of wall
challenging
though?
was that instead of working from above,
I don't think that was good.
ordinary smaller tank,
Can
I
you
needed to
just
work
do the
blindly
one
from the rear of the tank,
like from
then
there to
walk
there?
around to the front to see what I had done. I took a break from landscaping to start grouting the bottom of the water.
Because with that one, I can just use my wall to push up, and like my entire left is covered, then my entire front is covered too.
Glass at the bottom.
Yeah, sure.
Next, more soil and another moss wire piece here. This time, instead of a wall, it would form a cool mossy hill.
Oh, if I grab one, I have Volt here.
Decorating.
I have Volt here. If we just try and buy
I've
something,
been
I don't know.
terrarium
We can win this
scaping for
easily.
animals since I was a young boy. So
Just
I
ult the
had
jet
a
on
lot
site,
of
push him.
Get out of my
experience
way.
behind me, helping me decide what fit, what plant was too big, what shape of leaf should extend out, or hopefully another
There we go.
plant beside it.
It's Viper.
It takes some practice. But if you want some terrarium scaping advice,
Can you wall down,
I
Viper?
suggest
Wall down, wall
Fuck.
down.
scapers.
He's gonna respawn someone.
My ult's ready.
No, he's left. All the way.
Using Japanese or Indonesian
Nice.
techniques and styles.
Viper's
Even though
somewhere
it's
close to you
fish
guys.
And not land terrariums, in my opinion.
Just play inside the
scapers
smoke,
do
Viper.
nature talent. It also helps to have someone else come in with fresh eyes to give some honest feedback.
I know
on what looks
exactly
cool
where you
and what could use some adjusting.
I'm behind you.
Escape well into the night. The next morning, I got straight to work on vines. Vines, oh vines.
I know way.
I've never had a tank
Pop
large
up.
He's not
enough
on.
to incorporate real
Yep, Molly.
vines, but I've always wanted to. Now was my chance.
Nice.
I planted these vines, which are actually air roots from a banyan tree in my neighborhood. I always felt they looked awesome and was happy to give them a try in our tank. Now I thought situating
extra money
vines
if anyone
in an
needs.
aesthetically attractive
They're probably more broke than us. But they do have Viper ult.
But let me tell you, I was wrong.
Can we take B fast?
I can buy you a
Oh,
Spectre
yeah.
selling jet. If you want.
Dash on side.
It took
Yeah,
me
yeah,
the
yeah.
entire morning
You can dash on
and
side.
afternoon
Take side free.
to come up with a vine configuration
You wanna go
that
fast?
looked natural and would
Yeah,
be an
updraft,
acceptable vine
dash,
space
and then
for
doggy.
arboreal animals.
Yeah, let me
Viper's gonna
dog
be playing
first.
backside.
Or dog
Time
first,
for
then
finishing
Jess.
touches.
So we can follow Jet.
Almost done. Time to add gravel to the water area, then water, then stick moss onto the rock wall, and
Bro, no
a
fucking way.
total of 5 full days of working on this tank. This surely is what the final result.
Bro, what?
See family.
What is that?
Viper needs
Did
to,
he just
like,
headshot all you?
Slice.
Yeah, he doesn't
That's
need to play
crazy.
with any other gun.
Pandora.
My lord.
Listen, if we win this one, we win the next one,
of this tank
and a couple more,
I want all
we
of
might win.
us to first become an ant for a second and have an epic exploratory walk through these vast territories as a tiny creature for greatest effect. Let's go! Pandora is a magnificent tropical and humid paradise.
Watch out for Jip.
For any jungle creature that might have a chance.
You wanna rotate off this?
Its mossy soils.
Just go B.
With it being a cloud forest, humidity is high. It's heaven for moss, which covers many areas of this rainforest terrain. Now, if you're having problems seeing things right now,
There's
don't
two.
worry.
4 mid,
It's just
4 mid.
like a cloud which flows
There's
through
no
every
way.
morning and
GG's.
floats through to hydrate the lands.
Ay,
It'll be gone
ay, ay.
shortly. Now, the reason I chose to construct a cloud forest
I'm making
over
noodles.
any ordinary
Shit.
forest is because cloud forests, meaning forests
forgot.
usually at the saddles of mountains that contain a lot of moisture from settling clouds, happen to be among the most biodiversity-rich ecosystems in the world. Cloud forests are my favorite forests with incredible ecosystems. Hence, Pandora here. Pandora also sports a peaceful waterfall fed from a mountain spring that trickles into the opening of an underground cave water system. What a world these lands would be for our beloved creatures moving in. Alright, and now to check out these lands as humans. The foggy clouds are produced by a fog machine, which pumps the fog in every few hours to ensure the lands stay hydrated. The tank looks pretty epic from the front. This is my favorite angle of the tank. And check out the back. I just couldn't stop staring. Have a look. It's insane to watch and looks super real with the clouds. But let's have the clouds go, shall we? I have a fan on a timer, which turns on to periodically blow fresh air into the setup from the side, but I'll use that now. The mist takes a moment to dissipate. And voila! Behold Pandora after the fog clearing. What do you think? So let's start with the underground river cave opening. It's stocked with floating water lettuce, mosses, and fed, as mentioned, from a trickling waterfall from our mossy and ornately planted rock wall. Oh, and I can't wait to stock this cave water system with aquatic life. I also added a stick to help rescue any animals or insects falling in. They could also grab on to the various banyan roots that go into the water. Our cloud forest floor is adorned with carpets of various species of moss. Cloud forests, as mentioned, offer the perfect haven for moss to grow. In fact, cloud forests are also known as mossy forests, seeing as they tend to be abundant in moss growing on the ground and vegetation. I find they look really pretty, give any tank that signature forest feel, and I hope they establish themselves in this tank. Crossing fingers. And what did I say about our star tree stump, huh? It stands boldly as a focal point from which the eyes begin to wander. Hello, golden ratio. Our mossy wall is adorned with telangias, bromeliads, and climbing ficus pumila, which I'm hoping will totally cover this mossy wall over time. Same goes for this plant, which often takes over my terrariums in no time. But probably my favorite plants within this tank are the asparagus ferns, the supporting actors. See how nice they look? I find they always look stunning, paired with wood, and kinda look like mini bamboo trees. Check out this one, which I found has a long stalk that I could hang from above. I love it so much. Other plants worth noting are these nerve plants, which make great terrarium additions, this bright yellow-green philodendron, which adds an awesome pop of color, some wild baby plants, which were growing from a clump of dirt that I found in the forest in my yard. Not sure what species they are, but we'll see. And clumps of Spanish moss, which hung beautifully from the canopy above. Which brings us now to the vines. Oh, the vines. Took forever to get them to look just right. They entangle through each other high above the lands. There's a UV and heat basking spot for any reptile requiring sunlight. But my favorite are these banyan tree air roots. Have a look at them. I love the look of the air roots. They add such a cool aesthetic to our tropical rainforest. They're like nature's curtains. Check out the view from this side. Doesn't it look like a true slice of rainforest? I can honestly sit here for hours staring. Terrariums are so therapeutic. Now I made sure that there were lots and lots of places for animals to hide, find homes, explore, etc. that offer differing microclimates than the main living area. Let me show you. Behind the mossy wall is mostly space, so creatures can make their way back there and hide if they want. It's also quite humid back there too. I also allowed for the formation of an underground cave beneath the wooden stool on which the tree stump sits. I attached the rock wall using long brackets so that creatures could wedge themselves into the soft, tighter, mossy areas behind the wall, if they so chose. And my personal favorite, this neat cave, which leads into a huge, darkened dome beneath this moss hill. There's actually a lot of shadowy places and niches creatures could retreat to and occupy. Places for creatures to hide and get away would be important once the various animals begin living together. And AC family, that was when I spotted a tiny movement. Do you see it? A tiny jumping spider dangled from a thread of its lifeline silk. It looked around these vast lands in awe. I bet it was introduced here through one of the plants. Hello, little guy. Welcome to Pandora. He would have an utter feast of insects to eat very soon. But I think he could feel a slight change in the air, and that something major was coming. The humid clouds were rolling in again. And AC family, we've already seen the cool clouds of our cloud rainforest, but it wouldn't truly be a rainforest without rain. Pandora's tropical montane climate consisted of frequent rain drizzles. Before scaping, I made sure to outfit the entire setup with an irrigation system. I also had to modify the nozzles a bit, so the rain produced would better mimic an actual cloud rainforest shower, falling lightly as a sort of mist, but also as droplets falling from the tall trees high above the canopy. The raindrops fell magically onto our precious clumps of moss below. I love storm watching, and I just loved watching it rain within our cloud rainforest kingdom of Pandora. And that, AC family, was how I built a giant cloud rainforest within glass. What do you guys think of it? I have honestly been staring at it non-stop since it was built yesterday, and I felt honored to have such a stunning slice of nature that we could look into and visit anytime we wanted within the Antiverse. It made me come to better appreciate the magnificence, the design, the complexity of the natural world and climate. Speaking of climate, I also plan on changing the frequency settings on the fog and rain to mimic the natural wet and dry seasons through the year. I think it would be interesting to see how the inhabitants within Pandora react to these changes. But guys, this brings me now to the best part. This vivarium, of course, was incomplete. It already had a tiny spider, but I've been waiting for this very moment for literal months. Now that all the flora of our vivarium was in place, it was time for the next step of our ultimate ecosystem vivarium building process. You guessed it, AC family. It was time to add the fauna. Hope you can subscribe to the channel as we upload every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please remember to...
You dumbass.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James H. Anise, and today we're looking at Saw X, or Saw 10, released in 2023. Saw X is the return of John Kramer,
it's me,
aka
autographs
Jigsaw,
if we
even though
survive,
he died
yeah?
17 years ago, or 7 movies ago in franchise terms. He appeared in Saws 4 through 8 via flashbacks and cassette tapes he conveniently recorded before his death, but he sat out the Chris Rock-led Spiral, only having a cameo in picture form. Spiral was the first Saw film with a story completely divorced from John Kramer. The first 7 Saws were released literally once a year from 2004 to 2010. They form a beautiful, messy soap opera, with every installment adding to the interwoven web of characters. The 8th film, Jigsaw, released later in 2017, kinda sidestepped the continuity, technically taking place before all the other films, and it introduced a lame-ass, needless character. We ever see Logan again? I don't really care.
Yeah.
But Saw X is back to basics, y'all, and takes
At
place
least I don't
between
have to
Saws
really
1 and
try
2, back before John Kramer got his
Enemy
nose
spotted B.
Saw. Though he's essentially older if you do a side-by-side comparison, I will happily forget it if it means we get Toby Bell in a starring role. Bell is 80 now, incredible return performance as John.
I don't think we push this.
Yeah, it took us a bit too long to get out of.
In my Saw kill counts from 5.5 years
All right,
ago,
let's go.
Kinda scary. I often made fun of John Kramer's self-writing.
Full team fight.
And then drop. Oh.
Murderers say what? But Saw X gives you the most creepy perspective yet. With Bell
That's it.
my job.
Fuck that guy.
Helps too that he's up against an
Off my
absolute
contact?
evil
Yours?
monster. Makes it easier to root for
Okay.
when his victim like
I'm dead.
took antidepressants.
Just hug there, bro. 30, Sky.
Oh man.
Styles
Why are you
from the
flicking,
annual
man?
installments of the mid to late aughts.
1, 2, 3, and 6 are the ones that
Feeling edgy, bro.
relevant to this story.
They got the perfect guy for the job too. It's directed by
I
Kevin
hate to
Greuter,
say
who
it,
edited the
but
first 5 films
probably
and
best to play
Jigsaw,
as a
and
team.
directed parts 6
So,
and 7. If
what's the
anyone
plan?
knows,
Why'd you guys pick out the last second though? I could have played
Greuter
Sky.
makes sure Saw X is rewarding with plenty of nods to series lore. Greuter was joined by other veterans of the franchise, like composer Charlie Clouser and producers Orrin Coles and Mark Berg, who have headed the series.
Dude, I'm trying to make
from
food, dog.
And writers
I was
Peter
not.
Goldfinger and Josh Stolberg wrote
You're getting
Jigsaw
kind
and
of fast.
Spiral, which aren't my favorites, but they do a great job this time through.
Oh,
On
shit.
screen, we get a return of Shawnee Smith as Amanda Young, John Kramer's protege. Amanda was a powerful presence in the OG show. Her relationship with Kramer is the same as beating
Let's
heart.
go.
Bell has 20 years of relationship. Saw X is the highlight.
I just wanted to see them on screen together.
Even though it's a throwback, Saw X is also refreshing in many ways. It's quieter and more contemplative, especially early on. So much so that it might come off as slow-paced to some. I think it's beautiful and makes for an excellent setup to the later carnage. It also takes place in Mexico, the first time a Saw film has ever specified its setting. I always joke that the series takes place in Cityton, capital city of state. The change in setting is a breath of fresh air and gives
That's a
us a
funny
nice
joke.
taste of culture that helps it stand out as its own installment. I love the Saw series, and I love Saw X way more than the 3 installments that came
Let me
before.
show you how the
It's
boss
got
does
everything you could want from a Saw film, including, yes, plenty of traps and kills. So how's about we finally...
Reload.
Here.
Cover going out.
Going up.
Reloading.
What? One band.
But now, you experience true horror. And
Watch your eyes.
To heaven.
Dude, there's no fucking way.
yeah.
Ha! Please, what you've got there is the
Yeah,
Manscaped
they-
Performance
Let's
Package
go.
5.0.
I should've threw it further back.
Your grooming game
Aha.
to the next level, and I know everything that's inside. Like the Weed Whacker 2.0 for taming unruly nose hairs, but with skin-safe technology to reduce nips and cuts, it won't be doing you much good. Then there's the Crop Soother Aftershave, made to soothe razor burn and itchiness as hair regrows. Can't say I'm too afraid of that. Or are you thinking the Crop Preserver's clear, drying, quick-absorbing lotion with soothing aloe vera will really break me down?
No, don't be ridiculous. I'm going to make sure.
Oh, you're gonna go
I'm
with the
gonna
big
stop going
guns,
AFK.
huh? The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra?
Yes, exactly. And that is where I'm going.
What? Upgrade your grooming routine with its 2 interchangeable skin safe modes, waterproof design, and LED spotlight for illuminating those hard-to-see areas? Yeah, I bet you can use that.
No! Spike carrier is down. Use this.
I got
Shame your. Spike carrier is down.
Rescheduled Date Talk Season 2.
What do you say to that?
Phoenix. Don't get blood on
Okay,
that
man,
jacket.
there was a strike. Calm down. How about February?
Cool. Works for me. Ooh, I better get paid.
I believe
You
in
don't
us.
need to torture yourself for great savings this holiday season. Head over to manscaped.com and get yourself or a loved one the ultimate grooming experience for 20% off plus free shipping with promo code KILLCOUNT20.
Let's go.
All right, now that that's taken care of, let's get to the kills. The movie
Come on, let's go.
John Kramer.
Careful now.
As John waits for his latest MRI results, it doubles as an assessment of his diagnosis.
Hopping. 2 on site.
That sucks. John does the things the dying
Oh man, we just let bomb.
But it doesn't leave it
Pretty.
So your advice to
Still hopping.
Going up.
What the fuck?
He'd rather get big
What
than
happened?
this hospital will show
Heaven last.
when he sees him robbing a patient. That's a good way to keep us out.
piss me off. Like what I see. I'd like to play a game.
Just like that, we're back in Trap Town. For the crime of having sticky fingers, this guy's gotta break all 5 of his in under a minute. If he fails, his eyeballs will get sucked straight out of his skull. And pro tip, you don't want that. Instead of doing them all at once, this guy breaks each finger individually. When he fails, the trap follows his lead, sucking out his eyeballs one by one through them tubes. Looking like little ocular gerbil guys. It's all great fun, of course, but alas, turning this dude's
I'll
head into
show
a
you,
bone ball
scary
is but a
omen.
daydream. He escapes John's fantasies by second-guessing his near
On my way.
Shadows traveling.
John visits his nearest
Watch your eyes.
Shadows
traveling.
There, he runs into the castle.
Oh, I just mollied that.
I just smoke.
Killed him.
He's all good now, and all it cost him was a
I can plant if you
Henry
want to drop
gives
it to
John the
me.
name of his miracle, sends him on his merry way. At home, John researches Dr. Finn using his favorite search engine.
I was smoking meat.
Well renowned for its easy
One ramp. Watch out,
from
ramp.
trusted sources,
I'll have your
like
streets.
Article 3 and Article. He learns that Dr. Peterson's techniques are controversial, just like Enemy spotted.
Screens.
Dr. Peterson practices out of Norway, which is where Henry said he went to get healed. Lovers of Saw's soap opera elements, like myself, were thrilled to hear this, since it directly ties into Saw.
One side.
Which was also directed by Kevin Grogan. It's one of the best Saws. And in it, John tried to get his insurance to cover this very treatment.
I found a treatment for my cancer that I think will spot upon.
Careful now. I know the
They won't
technique
pop?
he describes is slightly different, but I'll chalk that up to a minor continuity error. The filmmakers intended for this connection to exist, and a deleted
They're
scene
probably gonna
shows
buy it
John
again.
emailing William Easton. In fact, I think they were going to include the scene from Saw 6 here before ultimately deciding to leave it implied. Of course, Saw X doesn't take place in Norway, since Finney Peterson
I don't think it's gonna work
is
again,
underground. His work is being carried on in Mexico by
I don't
his
know.
daughter,
We
Dr.
we can crunch.
In a video, she
Crunch
says
events.
Big Pharma and Big Gut
I'm down to do that.
Yeah.
down. But come to Mexico and get a drug cocktail.
Try to get a peek or something. Just don't push.
Just a little knocking on the noggin. John has found a sliver of hope. Thanks to it as he sends Cecilia a desperate email. His apparent email address, KramerJohn994@gmail.com, was set up in real life to respond in character out of button message. Calling that number led to a pre-recorded message. Careful now. You to play a game.
Thank you for reaching out. The very brave sight.
Cecilia gets back to John and says he can have a spot in the next Embarrassing. You can tell because everything looks like Breaking Bad. He's picked up by
I think. I don't know.
of the city. Production filmed on location in Mexico City, and it really opens the movie up. I don't know if John's
I'll handle this.
I think he's got other things to do. Cancel.
That's so strange.
All of a sudden, the tour's cut
Screen
short by John's
sight.
jig bag. After confirming
Try
his
taking
name,
beat.
though, they revealed just the onboarding process, a super secret security setup / epic prank throw. They take him to see the doctor is in. Giant mansion, and also a disused chemical
the
plant.
fuck?
There, she
I have this bike.
Pharma assassin. Housekeeper, a former patient, Valentina, a nurse, Mateo, a surgeon, and Carlos, a
Probably
kid who
CT
kicks
or
soccer
something.
balls against the wall. Crucial part of the operation. In an operating room designed by Joe Goldberg, John meets the overseer, Dr. Peterson's latest success story. They play rock, paper, cancer.
Sorry, I have cancer. I passed. Brain. You in?
Yep, brain always beats thyroid. Later that night, Cecilia makes
CT.
says he's a retired civil engineer and
You saw him so
Lately,
early.
he's taken up hobbies.
I help people overcome inner obstacles.
Inner obstacles like having depression. John can't sleep before the big days, so he wears himself out teaching ball bouncer Carlos how to fix his bike and get a girl's attention. Let me holler at ya. When it comes time to cut the cancer out, malignant style, Dr. Cortez won't let John sleep through the surgery. Instead, he has to be kept in a drug-induced fugue state as he watches them cut into either
Just
his
let them
brain or
try to
some
catch
blueberry
me.
cheesecake. Eventually, he conks out and wakes up to good news. He's as cured as bacon. Now, his whole life happens next. Tobin Bell is magnificent this entire film, but this scene really highlights his acting acumen. He returned for his 9th appearance as John Kramer because he liked Stolberg and Goldfinger's script.
The script for this particular film is very strong. Perhaps one of the strongest Saw films.
Still, Bell found himself rewriting some of John's dialogue on set. The writers were cool with it, thankful for Bell's 19 years of experience knowing what the character would and wouldn't say. John's instructed to take a daily drug cocktail and never, under any circumstances, take off that headband. But they didn't say anything about taking off all the rest. Looking good, Tobin, who is again 80 years old and still so agile. Now John's free to get back to making torture apps. But wait a minute, he's got a new lease. Come on, let's go! Kidnap, torture, and murder people? You probably recognize that doodle as the rack trap.
74 on run.
Saw 3. However, John had to go dig through the trash. John wants to get a gift for his saviors, and though they try to keep their location secret, they must have forgotten this motherfucker's an engineer with some trigonometry, which you said you'd never use. John is able to track down Peterson's healthcare hacienda, but he finds it completely abandoned, except for flickery lights and evidence of bamboozling. He discovers that the surgical footage he saw was from a DVD. This whole damn thing was a ruse, a cunning attempt to trick him. In a final moment of confirmation, John removes his wrappings and finds no surgical scars. I mean, they didn't even bother to shave him. It's taken 30 whole minutes to get to this moment, but I truly think the buildup is worth it. It lets us understand why, for the first time in the entire series, we see John Kramer in a panic. His new lease on life has been broken. All that's left is for him to play a game of revenge. Mesoamerican god Layla. He shows Diego he's been using dual.
¿A dónde vamos?
This
symphony of death.
The cabbie wakes up to find that John's giving him bomb implants in a trap that references one in the video game Saw 2 Flesh and Blood. John tells him he knows the truth. Diego not only drove John into the welcoming committee, he also played the part of Dr. Cortez during John's drugged out surgery. Now the pseudo-surgeon's gotta cut these bombs out of his arms in 3 minutes, and those wires are tough. Good thing forearm meat is tender.
Live or die. The choice is yours.
After a short delay, Diego goes to absolute town on himself. God damn, it's so gushy! This is a nice, disgusting return to well-done torture. It's so sick, even Jigsaw has to avert his eyes. Time to the prosthetics for this one are impressive.
Loading.
I mean, I'm probably gonna blur this even as I explain and show how fake it is. Don't blame me, blame YouTube. I'm telling you, I love this shit. Diego rips out the second bomb, giving him a rare fate. Success. Dr. Jigsaw. With intel from Diego, John starts collecting Los Complices. First is Valentina, the faux nurse. Giving up blood work for sex work.
My
She's getting
ultimate's
assaulted by
ready.
John when someone comes to the rescue. Whew, good thing someone's looking out for. Oh, wait, shit, yeah, never mind, okay. Pseudo-surgeon Mateo is a deals drugs to Gabriella, fake housekeeper. Fuck, I love this set. It's classic Saw. Look at those cheap doors opening to cheap plants out there, with colored lights washing over everything. It's a great way for the style to match the soap opera elements, and it feels right at home with the rest of the series. Cinematographer Nick Matthews, who shot the trippy Spoonful of Sugar for Shudder, was committed to making Saw X match the look of the original run.
We wanted to bring the Giallo color palettes into this movie.
Gabriella leaves with her drugs, and Mateo gets up here with a cattle prod, pickle prod.
Don't hold
Gabriella
back.
takes her ketamine or whatever to the nearest public bathroom, where she's blocked in by a big pair of botas. She takes out her mace, opens it, and hits her with a door.
Get out of my
Stop
way.
mazing yourself. Stop mazing yourself. With the cronies capturing Matthews, Dr. Peterson is already selling more false hope. Angel wasn't the word I was thinking. Damn, that's a big house. Oh shit, I said goddamn, that's a big house. Wow. She starts playing Cinco Noches and Cecilia, where we get a very well-constructed scare. The audience notices before her that there's someone on her roof, and it ain't no Santa Claus. Damn, people in glass houses should fuck with John Kramer. By the time she gets to her garage, Big Head is already waiting in front of the car, and in the back seat. There'd be 2 Roman Big Heads in the car. Which, I mean, is pretty obvious. Not like John Kramer would start to people to take a prod like that. Nope, he had a helper.
This is my associate, Amanda.
Amanda Young is back, baby. She's such a great character, and was a damn good contender in the first ever Horror Royal Rumble. Make sure you tune in for the second one on January 20th. I'm just gonna wonder why they got her in that little boy wig. Her hair has literally never looked like that at any other point in the series. Why not give her a dignified de-aging and a backwards cap, like a decent human being? Timeline-wise, this would be after Amanda escaped her bear trap test, but before she took the plunge, literally, in Sausage Trap House, where she worked for John undercover. So, still early in her apprenticeship. Since Peterson's abandoned chemical plant is exactly John's whole life, he uses it to stage going on. What's your eyes?
Just on top of the box.
The latest player wake up with a whole lot of questions. Why? Well, actually,
I've got your trail.
Creepy dolls. John names these people face to face. I mean, everyone already knows them anyway. Some react with hysterics, others with panic dread, while Cecilia stays a carny until John shuts that shit down.
I'm only trying to help you.
You will not.
Valentina is the first one to be challenged. John says it's a bone saw named after its inventors, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. In classic Kramer fashion, he claims he won't be responsible if Valentina dies. And that good last day, blah, 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 blah.
This is not retribution. Spike planted.
You're fucking dumb.
So, yeah, he's still the same old self-righteous asshole, but it's easier to sympathize.
No offense, I didn't mean to
against
say that.
charlatans
That sounded really
than the
mean.
last thing terminal people have.
Oh.
And Cecilia's been doing it a while, 8 years, 34 prior patients, all of whom died. For her part in the scam, Valentina must cut off her leg and suck out 3 ounces of marrow in just 3 minutes. If she doesn't, she'll fall victim to the Beheader 5000.
You'll make it. So long as you keep your head.
Amanda, get out of there. She and John take their box seats to enjoy the show. Bell's performance here is the most convincing he's ever been as actually wanting these people to succeed and change their lives. The timer starts and Valentina's off to a bad start, but eventually Turner hits her leg and Turner gets to sawing the dang thing off. Back and forth now, Valentina. Keep a rhythm. Think Gili, Gili, Gili. Yeah, sure. Just milking a cow. Yeah.
Close to the judge.
Eventually, she
One screens and one on side.
Bro.
South America begins to tip the scale.
Screens and unknown probably haven't.
The razor moves forward and
You just
cuts her
rotate.
head off in a decapitation that feels extra
They both have 'em.
deliberate and ghastly. Man, she was so close too. Not a snooze button, man, are you, John? I guess that's lights out for Valentina. This death was
Bro,
probably
go,
the
please.
most complex kill in the movie.
Even in my 20+ year career, that's one of the hardest gags that I've personally done.
It took 3 whole days to shoot, starting with actress Paulette Hernandez using a real saw on her real leg with a protected pad underneath. After plenty of footage of that, I mean a lot of it, she hid her real leg in a tightened it, flossed away at a fake leg, which was filled with blood clots and an aesthetic femur made by Fractured FX. The effect is so seamless, even director Groyder can't tell where the makeup ends and the prosthetics begin.
So that leg.
That's so gross, dude.
To top it off, or to off her top, I guess, a full body and head prosthetics were rigged with monofilament to fall apart on cue and go where they needed to for the shot and the story. Tied together with Hernandez's great performance, her first ever in English, the complete effect is nothing short of a magic trick. Almost impressive as the fact that Groyder used everything they shot in the final cut.
I don't know what the MPA was thinking, but I'll take it.
The decapitation really kills the mood. Gabriella blames Cecilia, while Cecilia blames the young girl's oxygen. That rubs recovery habits the wrong way.
Good job.
Sometimes we get sucked
Oh, imagine if he won the last round too. 366.
against our nature.
This is a more vulnerable scene than John and Amanda ever shared in the other Saw films.
The
Amanda's
dimension of
still
fabric
damaged
here
and
is thick.
scared like she was in the first movie.
Listen, I'm not ready to do this without you.
But disagreements over victim qualification will lead to her rebellious sarcasm we saw in Saw 3. We get to see this evolution since this is the first Saw that stars John and Amanda as the 2 biggest characters. Every other Saw splits its story between a trap plot and a cop plot, each of which have their own non-John and Amanda main characters who take up most of the time, especially when they're motherfucking slow. In Saw X, it's just these 2 and their victims, which I love. Groyder was happy they narrowed the focus too.
The cops were starting to really bog us down.
As for their victims, Cecilia's phone starts ringing in the middle of the room. It's out of reach, but she figures out a way to solve that little problem. You wanted a surgery, John? Here's a surgery for you. Full-on intestinal extraction.
Careful now.
We have a rope.
Hey,
Damn,
check.
cut up Valentina.
90.
Time on
Stay
February
slow.
14th.
90 on Jet.
Unbelievable. Valentina's track may
Stay
look
slow.
like a dirty, disgusting nerd thrill, but it gets the job done. I love how Cecilia finishes pulling it towards her with a little ta-da. She calls
50 on
someone
Sky.
and says a few Norwegian words before getting bad dog by Amanda. Look at this mess you made.
I made him 3 times.
Surprised Amanda
You got
doesn't
shit on.
Jesus.
You
All
got
of a
shit
sudden,
on.
they hear someone yelling outside the factory.
They did.
It's Parker Sears.
Well,
John's former fellow patient from the YouTube Medical Center is here. Because he's also trying to do the scan, so man he can shoot a pig, which he does. Before he can run away from Valentina's severed head, Amanda knocks him out. He comes to a little later, tied to a chair. Hey little boy, let me go and I'll help you with your homework. John expresses sympathy towards Parker as a fellow sucker. Still, he says Parker's got to play a game too. His only rule right now is no
Move in
guns.
after I
Parker
strike.
agrees, but says he
That's
doesn't
when they
condone
weak.
what's going on here.
We don't kill. You chopped a fucking head off.
See, I always got YouTube comments saying that I talk too much about John being a murderer, but the movies won't shut up about it either. I mean, everyone involved, from Bell to the filmmakers, understand that the character is a hypocrite.
You can hide behind this moral code that you seem to have, or you think you
I'm
have,
just-
but you are the one.
my throat
that's
is fucked.
designing these traps. You're the
Got
one
so
that's
much
pushing the
phlegm and
buttons.
shit, and I just
Amanda
keep
thinks Parker
smoking.
is a risk.
You get ready, it's
John
rugby, man.
reminds her that everything he's ever done has always gone perfectly according to plan. You know what? It's true. Because of her sympathy for Gabriella, Amanda moves Mateo up
113.
the lesson line. Lucky for him,
If I get a shot
substitute
twice.
teacher in the form of Billy the Puppy. Yeah! Oh, shit, he riding. I mean, it's taking the little guy a minute, but he'll squeak there eventually. There we
Sorry
go.
already.
And he's got a little cassette tape too. Who guard me, Mateo? Okay, or don't, and get shocked. Don't let him Mateo's game requires him to use a camera to animate his scalp, cut out gray matter from his
Yeesh.
brain, deposit it into
Yeesh.
a... Are you kidding me? John, you're gonna tell a guy to carve his
This
own
place
brain
is
like a
nice,
Thanksgiving
but not
turkey?
nice
That
enough
is
to die in.
insane, man.
Let's win and
Insane
get
in the
out of here.
membrane. Just like Valentina did, Mateo wastes the first good minute of his time on the clock. After that, he puts drill to skull and cracks his little leg open live on camera. Oh, this is must-see TV. Don't close your eyes so much, man. You're missing all the yolk. After exposing his brain, he starts, oh god, fishing out folds like he was trying to grab the last udon noodle with some chopsticks. He successfully grabs a big worm-looking piece of brain meats, but unfortunately, the trap doesn't end there. It's got to dissolve enough so its enzymes can
Hey.
feel it. Making it out of this alive. Sure enough, the timer ends and the shawarma mask slams shut. It's not that graphic of a kill by Saw standards, but still plenty disturbing, and uses Telelock for the mask and a callback to
Back
Diego's
up.
tour. And the kill is still plenty disgusting for Parker.
You guys are fucking sick.
Yes, sick with cancer and moral righteousness. For Mateo's brain teaser, a fully practical dummy head was
It is,
Hideo Hinojosa. He stood right beside it as he fished for lobes like a championship round of Gooey Louie. The traps in Saw X were built through collaboration. Most were designed by the writers, storyboarded by Kevin Groidert, and brought to life by production designer Anthony Stabley and a team of Mexican crew workers. And all that's just to get them made. Then you've still got to film a movie with them.
Once you get into a trap, you're dealing with
This guy's mid.
special effects, prosthetics, VFX, production design, lighting ultimately, and cinematography, and all of those elements have to, come together.
For his part, DP Nick Matthews highlighted this trap with distinct colors and awesome camera. Careful now. Around on Amanda. Billy wants to play with Gabriella. Watch your eyes! He starts floating into the sky.
Backside.
Like a fairy princess or something. Her task is to use a
Spike
hammer
spotted
to break
B.
her wrist and ankle free from the shackles. If she
Oh,
doesn't,
shine
she risks
through there,
spending
lady.
too much time exposed to this giant fan.
Radiation machines are not to be trifled with.
What, really? A super cancer gun? What the fuck, John? Gabriella starts working on her ankles so she can hopefully just swing out of the way. Unfortunately, the Tarzan plan doesn't work since John programmed the radiation machine with perfect comedic timing. She keeps at it while she's getting fried, with each strike accompanied by what sounds like video game hit indicators. I feel like I just sank 5 cannonballs.
Careful now.
Gabriella's was the most physically complicated rig for a trap and required constant testing all the way up until the shoot day. Under the supervision of stunt coordinator Sally, actress Renata Baca shared this harness stunt with a double. She would do the forward-facing shots, then come down to get progressively crispier layers of burn makeup applied, while a stunt performer was taken up and filmed. Most of the movie's effects are practical. The effects are things like pink out and support cables. As her skin really starts to sizzle, Gabriella breaks her wrist and wins the game.
Dude, I'm so
In
mad.
John's words,
No, go
Parker
down.
turns off, and he tells Amanda to get Gabriella to a hospital. But this is when Parker breaks his rule and grabs his gun. Turns out he's with Cecilia, and that snake rewards him with some slippery tongue action. He unlocks Cecilia, who's eager to get revenge on Amanda and John. They direct John to his own trap and lose this doghouse.
It's called We Live.
Come on, son. I'll never carry a franchise for 19 years. John still wants to get Gabriella some, but Cecilia says it's already game over for the girl and snaps her neck. With all her accomplices dead, she and Parker will get a bigger cut of the cash. Amanda doesn't approve of Gabriella's murder. We only microwaved her insides. What you did crosses a line. I love Sonova Cody Lund's performance here as Cecilia celebrates bringing down Jigsaw. She's awesome throughout the whole movie and makes for a great villainess with the sick glee she takes dressing down John. Lund was cast after Groidert saw her on the Norwegian show Ragnarok, and she was thrilled to work alongside Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell is a legend.
Careful now.
You get
He's quiet.
starstruck, actually, when you meet him the first time.
Cecilia sees that this trap was built for 2.
Some X, some
no
X, some
more
X.
idea than strapping Amanda in. Bring me the child! Since the audience would know John and Amanda can't die, Carlos was created specifically to raise the stakes. Even Jigsaw thinks that's messed up.
Terrible honesty.
Idiot mid.
Multiple
Cecilia
enemy
continues to tear into John as she uses his own
Spike's
logic
here.
against him.
If you let him die,
Hey.
it's all on you.
I mean, if you're being consistent, dude, she's kinda got a point. She's not wrong just because she's evil.
Oh, come on, John. You're the scary boy.
Evil and mean. Wow, she's so mean. John uses his Spanish to tell Carlos not to pull the lever. Parker starts the trap, which sees the victims pulled flat by chains on a table attached
Don't
to
stop
the Lionsgate
fighting.
logo.
You
It lifts
must
them up to a
go,
pair of
even
giant
if you're the
nozzles
only
that
one.
will make them pioneers in a new extreme sport.
Bloodboarding.
John pulls his lever, tipping his end back and slowly drowning himself in Dracula juice. But Carlos takes the heat off him at the last second. Kid must have really loved that bike. Soon as John catches his breath, he taps back in for a fresh coat. Yo, where'd he even get this much blood on such short notice? Like all traps, the bloodboarding was practical and worked as advertised, and was designed to look like it'd be at home in the earlier films.
So you see a lot of oxidized metal, you see components that you believe John Kramer's going to be able to actually construct.
That's a welcome change from Jigsaw, which supposedly takes place before the other movies.
Fire in
Uses
the
technology that seems newer, kind of a
Guys,
Star
one
Wars
HP.
prequel.
One HP.
It was easy to avoid that here since they shot in an old glass factory. It didn't have plumbing or electricity, but it
Enemy
did come
spotted.
with
Come on,
existing
Talk it down.
hardcore machinery that was here already. They love all rusted.
Cecilia and Parker have seen enough, but as they collect their loot in the control room, Parker will tell John's latest trap.
But if you were the last player,
Reloading.
who was supposed to be on the other side of that plank with you?
Oh shit, I think I feel a Hello Zep coming on the soundtrack.
Omen, take this. Omen, take this.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff. No shit's getting serious when we hear that track. Flashback show Diego had already told John that Parker was an accomplice. Amanda intentionally left Cecilia's phone within reach, kind of, so Cecilia would use it to call Parker there for help. After he arrived and was knocked out, John took the powder out of his bullets, replaced the bag of cash with scathing Excel
Get out of my
spreadsheets,
way!
and rigged the room to fill with poisonous gas. These jackals are acting like they beat Jigsaw.
And 20 raise.
Well, they deal with that twist.
I love
The
mid,
man
I love
loads
mid.
John and Carlos out of their trap.
I've got
The
your
drifters
trail.
predictably turn on each other and have a jagged metal flank that becomes fresh air. Cecilia comes
90 raise,
stabs
90 raise.
Parker in the gut and lets the poison gas boil him like a stovetop hot dog. John and Amanda give Carlos all of Cecilia's ill-gotten gains.
Close one.
I'll handle this. The survivors walk into the sunrise, leaving Cecilia Peterson.
One coming up, one coming up.
Fuck, that's how it ends.
Behind you.
Sight in heaven.
He's the evil mastermind.
Yeah.
Torn her ass up like a. Do give one last round of justice. The credit scene.
You have flashes
He
and shit.
started it all. Henry Kessler.
Yeah, I know.
He finds himself and his scarless tum-tum strung up in
good
his
try.
most famous bathroom. He's here thanks to Detective Mark Hoffman, one of Jigsaw's apprentices and main killer of Saw's, what were they, 4 through 7? Damn, he had a run. Earlier in Saw X, we saw John call him for help.
Detective, I could use your assistance in locating some people that are in need of our services.
Hoffman tracked down Henry Kessler, brought him here, and ends the movie using 2000 slang.
I call that epic bad luck.
How many pre-kills did John Kramer rack
Whoa,
up?
serious?
That's pretty cool. Let's find out and get to the number. What the?
Hey, who are you? Why are you trying to get to the number?
I'm James H. Denise. It's my job.
Mind me again, and I'll enter this chamber into your eye.
No, I'm not lying. My name is James H. Denise. I've been cramming jokes about horror movies since I title card a lot.
All right. Fine. You're safe.
That seems entirely unnecessary.
Yes. Good one.
Only 4 people died in Saw X, consisting of 2 men and 2 women, giving us this even Esteban pie chart. If you compare it to the rest of the series, it's a new low. 2 fewer kills than Saw's only 5.
Careful now.
Saw X had a franchise high.
Main and backside.
He just ran through the molly. What a
Worked out
fucking
to a kill
loser.
on average, 29.5 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for cool stuff to Valentina because of all the moving, bleeding parts. The trap is great, the performance is great, the gore is great, everything's great. Dome Machete for lamest kill goes to Parker Sears because suffocation and a little acne isn't all that bad compared to losing limbs and or brain matter. As is tradition for Saws, I'll also be awarding the traps. Platinum Punji Sticks for coolest trap goes to the hospital custodian's magic eye puzzle. Now you see them, now you don't see much of anything.
Let's
There's
go.
a reason they use this thing in all the advertising. Rusty Mousetrap for lamest trap goes to Gabriella's weaponized.
Careful now.
Even if you win, best case scenario, you're disfigured. Worst case, you also have cancer. That's fucked up, John. And also, as is tradition, I need to give this sequel a subtitle to help it stand out. Can't just have a Roman name. So let's call it Saw X. Fuegos de Hits. And that's it. Saw X came out to the best reviews of the franchise and grossed over $100 million.
Have Spike.
Budget of just $13 million. Franchise producers Mark Berg and Warren Coles already have ideas in mind for Saw 11, which will hopefully follow this film's direction. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice.
My ultimate's ready.
Hey everybody, thanks a lot for watching the Saw X Kill Count. Yeah! This is our friend Carswell, who's here with Make-A-Wish, who came to visit the set and meet me, Zoran, and Chelsea.
No, it's been amazing. I'm really happy to meet you guys. It's been so awesome seeing everything and the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's been awesome having you here, and you're so lovely to talk to, and you're also an actor.
Yes, I am.
And
I'm
a filmmaker.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into film as a director.
That's done.
Lesbian lobby.
Actor for hire. I mean, that's
That's it. Break time.
Well, you already landed your first role in a kill count. Do you have a favorite song?
Probably
Twitchy here. Let's
4
go already.
and 5. I'm a big fan of the Strong timeline.
Nice. Okay. Well, if you're out there, hire Carswell. for acting or any other film thing.
Pretty please.
Do it.
I can't be on this set. I'm hitting everything. I'll go. You and Cars will finish it.
Okay, I kicked Zora off the set because he keeps fucking breaking it, so. Be good people!
Let me show you how the boss does it.
Hey, everyone.
Careful now.
How's it go? We're not Carl.
Keep that going.
Mid, a lot of
I've
mid.
got your trail.
Bro, they're trying to take mid.
Come on, let's go.
Still mid. Couple more.
Get the last one. Good job.
Good job.
My old
Given the opportunity,
Oh yeah, I'll see everyone.
no.
I don't know why the rest of us.
No, this is my feelings.
Got him. A child's cock.
A child's
Will you
cock?
stand your ground,
If
or will
they're-
you wither?
If they're dead.
That is so much worse.
Why is it worse?
What do you mean?
Because like you're not hurting anyone.
Wait.
I don't want to see it.
How did they die? What are you doing to these
I don't
kids?
know, like it got overfed.
That is by far
It got overfed like a duck for
Careful
foie
now.
gras.
That is the most insane thing you have ever got said.
I'm not trying to be edgy, but I
Serious?
definitely am thinking. I think that saved me.
I'm not trying to be edgy, but I'll look at a dead kid's cock. TikTok about
Is it better than
and
that's why
free speech is important.
You know?
Amen. God forbid they take our First Amendment away.
Probably haven't.
So we can't joke about the dead kid's cock. Get this man a gun and a dead kid.
Yeah. Stat. General Patton.
Or just a gun and a kid. He'll use the gun. Cowgirls make too.
Reload.
Where's mid? She's mid.
Watch your eyes. Easy, man.
Reloading.
There can only be one hero.
Mutes are just guys who are role playing as really cute animal-looking girls.
They're desperate.
That are small animal-looking girls in the game are like.
They're pretty bugged this round, so they might just all run mid. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, he didn't like that. He didn't like that.
I don't like being between you two right now. I'm pretty scared.
Oh, look at that glare. Oh, it's menacing. Like what? We are in a yard
Say it again,
too.
Swan. I was just bringing back the George energy.
Yeah.
You talked about
thought
fucking
that
my
fit?
mom last week. You talked about fucking my mom.
Careful now.
I'm just saying, when we were at your house, she looked like she had hood.
Going up.
He smoked main, please.
3. AD race. Cancel.
Dude, there's no way.
Wait, Heaven.
3 on site. 1.
Heaven up.
You know you're her least favorite.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
You walking around in Hollis on all fours.
I'm so mad.
Well, no, because Maverick's different and earned double in the box
Also,
office.
Val Kilmer is the most handsome man from the 80s.
Accounting
ever
for
to be.
inflation?
No, for real
Would
shit.
not look at him the
I
same.
know, he's different now. That's
New
how
one's
you'll look.
tough. Well,
That's how you'll look.
hopefully not.
I hope you don't look like that. Tummy bear.
Oh my god, hey, expand it for me. Give
Dude,
me one
it's
time.
rippling like Put it out, put it out. Oh, no, the sun looks good.
Put it out one.
Shit.
No.
What about that little guy?
You want to see my penis right now?
Yeah.
Nah, we're in
We
public.
miss you.
Dude, that doesn't mean let me see your penis.
We have been missing you, though.
Anyway, I'm on the damn flight. I asked flight attendant why she sleep. He says sleep as much
Combing
as you
your
can.
head off.
I sleep. Hey, I'm tired of these snakes on this goddamn plane.
Please finish the story.
Hour two, Aiden. Hour 2, Aiden. You're the only one left. You are the only one. What are you were whipping?
I'm coming.
Not you, obviously. You don't know how to.
You thought he's a flight attendant.
I gotta keep that camera. Don't laugh. I thought I had you. I gotta keep that camera.
I
lose you? Are you laughing at the whip? Who is that? Who is that in this example? That's me beating off Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's the Delta One flight attendant being like, "Sir, you need to stop coming."
We can't.
So
I'm on the flight. I'm sleeping. It's a sick flight. It's flat. I lie down.
One on site.
80. Spamming screens. One is up in heaven now. Screens heaven unknown. I want to win this round. Okay.
I opened my phone.
I could
I'm
smoke
getting
heaven
this
before.
at, like, 6
Raise heaven.
p.m., like my time. If you didn't know he didn't drink, it would seem like a drug text. And I open it up and
Thank God. Oy. I just don't want to play more. Omen screens. Good job. Let's go, Reyna. I'm getting carried. I'm not actually. He has the knife! Oh, I'm so... God, it's so annoying. I don't think anyone should ever inspect the knife. I'm mad that the knife inspector is so bad.
It's
But,
just less amounts of anger.
it's whatever.
So what's the answer? Did you reply?
Yeah, he gave me a really thoughtful reply, and I'm like, oh, come on, bro. Like,
You're supposed to say, yeah, go fuck yourself, and then you go, haha.
Yeah, you don't understand that.
But he said,
you don't get it.
He said how he appreciates you as a friend. And
Yeah,
things.
no, he was. I'll read it out loud if you want to fucking. Careful now. If you want to act onions.
Jet dashed up.
I'll pay. Have it. I'll prime.
After I woke up, he cried a little bit. He went and got
I think you and me, I always thought was the closest for a long time.
Watch your eyes!
And it's interesting.
Flash!
123 on Jet. On the
Wait
corner.
for the team. Wait for the team.
Yeah, we can chill. I'm just doing my own shit. Raise blue.
What the fuck, bro? 20 raise.
Oh, you don't want to do this? Oh, so
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
One could be elbow. Elbow.
How does he not get that kill?
Elbow.
Elbow last. Walked out.
I've been playing a lot of Warzone. Dude, have you? Yeah, I've been addicted to Warzone. Solo? No, I played full squad.
Don't rush me.
I play with Ryan. I play with Steve.
Oh, it's so fucked.
Oh, this raise is cracked. Holy shit.
Steve is the DP director of
Alright, I suck. I don't know.
Explosion Shoot. Or DP, sorry. He's a DP director, and he was the DP on that.
We just need to win the fucking round. Well,
It's funny because he's
I
actually
don't
very
care if
good
there
at
are 5 of them or 50 of them.
I should have killed Roman way faster.
Is it over? Is it over? Is that one over?
That one's off. Oh my god. Oh, so I just to recap this. Lana put
Going up.
on the
Still in sight.
Flash!
Still in sight.
One backside, one drop.
I'm blind.
So
There's 3 now.
80 on raise.
Two more inside. Last side.
This guy's upping.
Powerfully, and then you hold it up like a kid with your drawing. Like so pridefully, and it's
Word.
awesome. You're doing great.
this is kind of like
Snack time. Starved.
Yeah,
Only brought no
You're
food.
doing a fantastic job.
It's just so funny because it's his penis.
Doing the greatest job ever.
it's kind of like what it would sound like if you were crowning. I feel like
This is gonna be such an intense feeling that you experience. You'll never be able to come again.
That's not true.
It's gonna take away all.
You try me, bro.
Pee.
Yes. No. Comes not sort of the balls, is it?
You know when you drink pee?
No,
We actually talked to a scientist yesterday. We learned this.
There's no way cum is stored in the balls.
Okay, hold on. So when you drink, when you drink piss?
Yeah.
So when you drink piss, your body knows, kind of like how medicine, like when you
Watch
drink
your
alcohol,
eyes!
it knows.
109 and
Directly to the
80
balls,
on
skips
Omen.
all of the
I'm capping, but I hope it gives them like
Yeah, and so
any
so if you
sense.
drink pee, you pee it
109
out.
in Sky.
It's like vitamin C.
It's like a yellow
So
Veruca
fucked.
salt.
I know
She's
he's
filled
fucking with me,
piss.
but
So
cum is definitely
fucked.
not stored in the balls.
cum is.
Assessing bleeding tech.
That's what your
I'm
balls
so-
are for.
No, I think
Why
I
would
think
my
it's
balls shrivel to a like a raisin?
Wait, you're saying
Hold on, no, your
when you-
balls.
when you
your
nut?
balls are not just a single thing. There's a bunch of parts to your balls, and they make the different parts that make
See,
your
women,
cum.
we don't know about our shit
Fake
either, so
telephone.
don't get
BBB.
mad.
Knitting
brag
bee.
full of
about
water
this. Don't
and you dump it
brag
out.
about
Does the cup
this.
shrivel up?
They walled
What?
the
If the
CT.
cup is full of water, you dump it out. Is the cup shriveled up?
My balls aren't.
Things can store things. Oh, that's actually fair. Yeah.
No, the balls are the cum.
No, that's Aiden. Aiden, no.
Simon did this thing, by the way, where he was like trying to gaslight me into thinking that he went to ASU.
Like Sage's name.
Back when we were Stone Devils, dude. He was like,
pillar.
He was watching the news. Real hot, you know, and,
Dude, this is so annoying.
desert, like that's why like Arizona Sun Devils get real hot.
Oh. What are these? Then you'd be like, yeah, Marsha, right?
Yeah,
At the quad. There's no quad. It's called the MU.
Yeah, we hang out in the quad, and there was Breslin.
There's no
Breslin, fucking Trailer. Do you never remember Rush Week?
Dude,
The dumb part
crazy.
about all this is that he's literally met 3 of the people I went to college with when he went to New York.
That's
and
why.
didn't name them. He named Breslin and Marsha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we remember those
How
guys.
you think yeah.
He met him.
I'm
They
talking
were
about.
all there together, though. There's no reason that, like...
Yeah.
I got you, bruv.
I know. It was more of the. It was like the deep cut.
Yeah.
These people you wouldn't remember.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was kind of like
Cutting
a club
division.
thing.
Reloading.
Careful now. Watch your eyes.
Breslin,
Soccer guy.
He was. Yes, he was. You think he wasn't?
You remember
He was
we went
crazy.
to that morning bar and
Oh my god.
You weren't there.
Yeah, he started doing two shots at once. Two shots at once. At 9 a.m.
That was the thing with Breslin. He never did one shot at once.
Sage dropped the
He always
site.
two.
King.
Why
are you here too?
He's such a bro.
No fucking way, dude. Ugh.
And he graduated like
No, bro.
No.
I just started. I was NTS. I was NTS. Yeah, non-traditional student. But
Don't say the acronym and then what it means.
because you might not have known.
Okay.
Go Sun. Go
You're
Sun
still
Never
Devils.
talking sweet.
You're
That's
still
what I
caught
would
up
say.
with your major. You didn't
Bruh.
know about it.
Cutting
But yeah,
through.
Rush was cool, and
Rush for
Go
what?
back B.
For what?
Club.
My ult's ready. I'll handle this.
Club.
Go club. That was the way you could check.
You have to
Go
rush for a
club.
frat. You don't rush for a club.
yeah.
So I should be
Wait,
clear.
You rush for frat.
What happened?
Heaven.
You know what? He always got clowned. He always got clowned, and it never changed.
I remember when you showed up, he's like, I'm here for frat.
He's like, yo, bro. Tell a lot of
So low. Please just swing him. Just swing him. Swing him. He got heals. Oh, we're fucked.
fuck, man.
Dude, you just needed to swing him.
Fuck, bro. It was fucked up.
That was the last thing we went to before COVID shut the whole shit down. We were at Breslin's funeral.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
yeah, it was fucked up,
You
bro.
weren't there. That was what
wasn't.
was fucked up too. It's like that's
wasn't.
how you know you didn't know Breslin very well. It's like you would have gone.
I feel like
shit went up though.
I almost want to say I
Shit
never
went
met
up.
Breslin.
Shit went up, dude. We fucking we cleared like a 30 rack per like every 2 people,
This
bro.
went from like us having hung out to like you 3 just went to ASU separate of me. And we didn't cross our paths. You were go clubbing.
No,
you know,
I
you
was-
were
Bruh.
You alumni.
Yo!
I feel like you're
Sun
brushing us
devs.
off. We went to every improv performance you did, like, and you want to make it sound like we weren't even
Yeah,
fucking
Stay
there.
safe.
Sex with you is
what
like
what was it called? What was the improv group called?
Yes, and.
Careful now.
Yes, and
it was Tempe late.
Mid.
me and Anthony would crush Skittles vodka and watch you guys, fucking do your
Dude,
shit up
fuck,
there.
bro. One time I was so trashed at the end of your show, I came up to you
That's-
and I
yeah.
said, "Good job," because I thought you were a different guy.
2 more heaven.
I started the
Did a
Go
good
Club
job.
chant. I started the Go Club chant, but I was still in my dorm. I didn't realize I was,
Fuck,
I was so
bro.
high off the weed, dude.
Yeah, dude. We had some good times.
We had some good ass times.
I like that.
That's some of my best friends there.
So concert was good though. Here's the thing, I know it. Ray is on the is on
Watch your eyes.
Raise heaven. 2.
Taking planning. Sage pillar.
One pillar.
Both
Both
heaven.
backside. Both.
Dude, no fucking way, bro. Ugh. That's so dumb. Hey, what's up? Kitty. Not allowed up here, dude. Come on. Wonk.